Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures a little bit volatile here in the pre-market. Some news coming out regarding tech stocks, pushing the NASDAQ a little bit lower. Everything else trying to hold on to that break-even level to a little bit higher. We'll discuss the market overall coming up, but we still have some positive optimism heading into the new week this morning surrounding COVID-19 vaccines as the Pfizer vaccine starts to be shipped to distribution points across the entire U.S. as of this morning. So vaccines to come starting this week. Some positivity coming out of Washington over the weekend as far as a possible stimulus package is concerned as well. Bipartisan bill being discussed could be presented as early as today, which could see that initial or original $908 billion plan divided into two separate parts. So we'll keep an eye on that for you coming up as well. As I mentioned, the Pfizer vaccine heading out as of today. The FDA will release its assessment of Moderna's vaccine coming up later in the week this week as well. Last week, stocks were down for the first time in a few months as far as the weekly performance is concerned on the back of rising COVID-19 cases throughout the world and also worries about a possible stimulus package. We have individual names moving this morning, including some of the travel-related names on the positive vaccine news. We have that PaySafe SPAC, BFT, back to the upside this morning. We'll talk about that coming up. And Tesla as well, higher, even as they announce they're going to shut down production of two of their most popular models throughout the Christmas period. It's Monday, December 14th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see a bit of a mixed performance here. We had Australia higher, but everything else either very little change to the downside. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Yeah, nicely positive here, top to bottom, 1+% for the most part. We'll shift over to North America next and see more positivity here. We did have a little bit of a spike, as I mentioned, in the NASDAQ there mainly came to the downside. We'll discuss that coming up. As far as EU sanctions and fines, not sanctions, but fines for tech stocks. TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.4% to the upside. Brazil Open trading higher. Look at Bitcoin this morning, 5+% again today. Crude oil higher by a full percent. We have gold trading in negative territory ever so slightly. Good morning. It is Monday. Good morning, guys. It is a brand new trading week. We had a little bit of a stressful morning around here. As many of you, I'm sure, are aware, Google was down. When has that ever happened before? But everything back to the way it should be. YouTube back to the way it should be. So we are here. We're happy to be here and happy you are joining us.
Yeah, and as if you didn't know how reliant we are on this technology sometimes. I mean, just touching to just about everything when it came to prep for the show. Obviously, we're on YouTube, so that goes without saying. It is a big week this week. Obviously, fantastic news. Pfizer, BioNTech, their vaccine. But let's not forget, end of the week, Tesla goes into the S&P 500. There's going to be obviously some ripple effects of that throughout the week and culminating in the actual index for balancing. I think, in the NASDAQ and Peloton's going to be going in. So plenty of names to be on watch today. The EV space, again, will be in play. I'm actually in NEO earlier than normal. I wouldn't normally take it, but there was a bit of a test at that 40 level. So there's going to be a lot to discuss, Sean. And, of course, we have a special guest coming through a little bit later on. I know you got a surprise for him.
That's Mr. O'Leary coming through today with J.R. Ron from MindMed. Of course, we'll be talking everything MindMed. That stock has been an absolute beast. MMEDF over on the pink sheets, and then MindMed, MMED, over here on the NEO exchange listed. You can probably find it on your broker under the Toronto exchange, but it's listed with NEO. So MindMed today, it's going to be a big day. Look, I mean, it's Monday. BFT, congratulations. Everybody long on that one with me as well. Let's just wait to see where we open up and how that trades. But Brennan, it's going to be a big day. It's already 8:35, and I'm jacked up, excited to go. It was a great weekend. I hope you had a good one as well, Mr. Wickens.
Yeah, it was a fantastic weekend. You know what, guys? Why don't we do this? We'll show you. It was number 2, right, Robbie and Lucas? Yeah, we'll show you this. So we have, our special guest, guys, coming up about 11:50, and Sean just mentioned it there. Both J.R. Ron, and Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary, joining us once again to discuss all things MindMed. So stick around for that, won't you? 11:15. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hello, traders. Happy Monday, everyone. Please be supportive, subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and destroy the like button. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Yeah, lots to talk about, guys. Let's jump into how traders did here at Day Trade the World last Friday to wrap up the week. More nice numbers here. If we could throw up my screen there, Lucas, and we'll have a look at, there we go. The top 10 traders from Friday. More Canadian content, top of the list here. Chicago, the CME, NASDAQ, and New York, 51,000. In the number one spot. More futures here, it looks like. The CSE, which is here in Canada, NASDAQ, New York, 22,000. More U.S. markets, you got to go down to number 6. More Canadian there, CSE, 12,000. I don't see any, Hong Kong popping up here, 1,500. Back on Friday, we have some European markets there as well, 1,377 down at number 10. But another great day for the top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. We have some interesting deal-making news in the pharma space as well. We're going to discuss that coming up with AstraZeneca. We have Mark Roberts going to join us here in a couple minutes. I want to kick things off, guys, with Peloton this morning. We'll get your opinion here real quick. Just had a look at the actual stock is higher, but not a tremendous move here, 1.4%. Peloton going to be added to the NASDAQ 100, it looks like, coming up on Friday as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, look, obviously, everyone's so laser focused on Tesla that I feel like there's going to be so many other, both additions, some deletions as well, but some rebalancing and upweights and downweights, I think, would be big ones. Peloton, obviously, if you're not unaware of the move that we've been making in this name, certainly this was something which is going to happen, almost inevitable. We're getting a bit of a bounce already sort of into this news. But Peloton's actually gotten a little bit sleepy and frothy at this 120 top. And it's going to be interesting for me because it's such an interesting and obvious level for a breakout. And hopefully this is the sort of news, or at least week, that might get you through that top for a break. But I feel like there's going to be some opportunity when everybody is focused on Tesla going into the end of the week. That I just feel like there's going to be even some better shot plays with some of the other movement that's going to be happening in the S&P and the NASDAQ as well, Sean.
Yeah, no, I'm so I did go long Peloton last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, right around here, 115, 114, something like that. And here we go, guys, today. So nothing going on the imbalance locator right now for NASDAQ. But this is Peloton. Yeah, good little announcement, but like Neil mentioned, not really hitting the stock at all. You still have a high side here, and it needs to break through this level, 130. I mean, I know that's a little ways away. NASDAQ rocking and rolling today, still up that 0.4. So, I think it can go, but I'm not super excited about it. I'd rather see it get to this 126 level. As far as today, 54,000 shares, not huge. We do have some tops going back to Thursday of last week, 120. Yeah, that makes sense. And then again on Friday of 119. So kind of bouncing around. The only thing is, you got to watch out. Like, it has monster moves. Like, this was Friday morning, 108, right? Ripped all the way. Sorry, that was Thursday. 108 all the way up here, 118. And then look what happened on Friday. Same kind of thing. Drops down to 115 before ripping back to 119. So I think this is good news for them. Let's take a 120 break, but we still have so long to go, guys. It's still only 8:40. So I'm excited for Peloton. I like a 120 break. Let's see if it still sticks around for the open.
We'll talk about this one coming up in upgrades and downgrades today, guys. But it looks like Disney catching a downgrade today. We did have some news and some moves in Disney last week, but just noticed a little bit of a volume spike just coming in on the actual stock there as well. So thoughts on Disney here heading into the new week? You can see we just kind of popped back up to that 175 from Friday here. Early going, but downgrade for Disney today.
Yeah, who? I didn't even see the downgrade. Do you remember who it was?
I can double check.
Regardless, you can find that, and we'll just go on with it. Disney, look, guys, I mean, it's rocking and rolling. Like, we touched 180 almost, 179.37. That's going to be 179.51. That's going to be all-time highs. That was during sort of the panic there on Friday, right? They came out, they released a bunch of new content. We talked about that. Neil's loving that as a Star Wars fan, and I think everybody probably is. So definitely gets people excited, rips to the high side, catches a downgrade. Remember, we did close here about 176-ish on Friday. So as we look, there still is some leftover buyers, I'm sure, waiting to see what happened there at the close, now looking to come back in. You do have this top 177. I don't know if there's enough news in the market today to get this above 179.50, but you want to talk about a COVID play. I mean, look, more people are going to be visiting Disney. I have a lot of friends right now that are jacked up, ready to go on Disney cruises, ready to go back to Disney. They have young kids. That my kids have never been to Disney. I don't know if I want to spend that money to go there, but we will be going to Disney. I went as a kid, so I just think it's one of those things where people love Disney, and then now they have, they still own, remember, they own ABC, ESPN, a lot of properties, now Fox, lots of stuff happening with Disney, so I still like it, but if you're going to look for a downside, Neil, I mean, we did get some gathering here at 170, so I don't know if we're going to get to that low, but 170 definitely looks like something. And then maybe this bottom that was made at 1230, 174. But again, we're really close to that right now. Just watch out for the open.
Yeah, I mean, if we get anything below that 170 mark, certainly I'll be watching like a 167 number there. And look, if you look at this level here, the pre-market bottom, if it breaks like a 174.30, sorry, 173.50, it looks like it's a decent, maybe quick little short. I tell you right now, I just got out of Neo here, just tried that one, the long 90s, broke down about 25 pennies. We'll take the 28-cent hit when you encounter the slippage as well. Kind of felt like we'd have a chance to break through that 40 mark. But as Sean mentioned, it's 8:40. I feel like we start the show early sometimes, and I'm like trading earlier than normal. And speaking of which, we'll have that TLGT as well, because initial winner on that one, and then that just broke to the upside. So there is some movement going on, and I try not to hold these things into 9:30 if I can't. But Disney, I'll be looking for it about 165, Brendan. If it does come down today, which I think is a solid possibility, there might be a pullback.
Yeah, strength Friday, obviously, on Disney. Let's bring in Mark Roberts here and kick things off for a Monday morning and get his thoughts on what we need to be aware of heading into both the new trading week and also Monday's session. Guys, yeah, whenever we have Mark, we can jump into a conversation with Mark Roberts and have a look at what he is looking at so far this morning. There's going to be a little bit, there he is. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you. President of Sun Lake Strategies, back with us again this morning. There's going to be a little bit of a shift I was leading into back towards the vaccine news again this week. I mean, we're all kind of focused on the IPOs that came out last week. Very exciting, obviously, but back towards vaccine land again today. I want to start things off, though, with AstraZeneca, who obviously is in that space, but big deal news coming out over the weekend.
Yeah, it's very strange because AstraZeneca, which has built its turnaround in oncology, is now shifting into immunology. And there's a lot of chatter out there that while there's few synergies involved, the company really has longer term risks because a lot of their patents are coming off. So I won't call it a desperate attempt, but it certainly is an attempt to try to get back into the fray. And for me, if I owned the stock, I'd be cautious in here.
5.5%. I mean, we're heading to lows as we speak here, down around 6% now. So yeah, picking up Alexion Pharma, that's a $39 billion deal is pretty big for AstraZeneca. When it comes to the actual vaccine news this morning with Pfizer starting to roll out, we're going to get the FDA's assessment on Moderna's vaccine coming up later in the week. How do you see this playing out over the next coming days?
Oh, this is the first of many, probably 3, 4, or 5 vaccines. This is the most difficult one from what I've been reading because of the refrigeration. The next few should be much easier, but I don't hear from anybody who has taken it or will be taking it any fears. I think a lot of that was probably uncertainty in the marketplace. I've received 2, 3, even 4 doctor's notes over the weekend, basically outlining everything. Nobody seems to have any fears of the Pfizer vaccine, and I think it'll go rather smoothly.
And possible, more positivity for the actual stock in that case?
Oh, I think in the longer term, absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you get all of this uncertainty out of the way and the first hundreds of people get the vaccine, refrigeration goes well, FedEx or UPS or however it gets delivered is seamless, I think it helps Pfizer, no question.
As we've seen in the past, whenever there's positive vaccine news, specifically on a Monday morning for some strange reason, all of the travel-related stocks, catch that vaccine-related bump. We're seeing that again, kind of 3.5% to 5.5% across the board. Is there a group this morning that you're more interested in when it comes to maybe the airlines or the cruise operators or hotels?
Maybe the hotels, Airbnb, still a favorite. It'll come down some more as the sellers take some profits. I think that's still a great long-term play. And again, Disney, as we've talked many times, the downgrade by BMO is basically a market perform. Yes, the valuation may be stretched in here, but I think longer term Disney is a great play too.
Speaking of downgrades, double downgrade for Airbnb this morning. Is there significance in that at this point?
Oh no, I think I wouldn't take much credence to it at all. It'll come down. These things had been like rocket ships over the last few days. Tremendous money going into IPOs. But I think the news goes back to the vaccine. I think the news goes back to perhaps a stimulus package coming through. And I think that's where the news remains.
Yeah, tremendous money going in and movement creating opportunities for us. Great stuff. Mark will bring in Neil and Sean here and continue on individual names.
Hey, Mark, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I hope your weekend was good. Anything interesting you want to tell us about?
Oh, no, the weekend was great. It's just we have the heaviest rains I've seen in a long time right now before our snow.
I was going to say, I guess probably a little bit better than snow. I asked the audience today, Mark, give them a little treat since you're getting a lot of love here. And Giancarlo says, ask Mark about SPACs, which one and how to pick up. So how you pick up is you just hit buy. That's the first thing. The second thing here is I like this BFT, which is going to be turning into PaySafe, right? I've loved Square. I've loved PayPal throughout this whole run through 2020 for sure. And even back a couple years, I've been a PayPal user for a long time. And apparently BFT with PaySafe, they have a lot of action with DraftKings, Skrill payments, and I believe there's one other payments system they have as well. Oh, NetTeller. What do you think of BFT today? Up that 9%, looking to make some moves. I recommended this back. I mean, I'm long at 1280 down here when we broke from this level. It was a beautiful level down here, 10.50. And of course, we just wait. It's a $9 billion deal for PaySafe.
Oh, fabulous looking chart. Stock, any pullback into that 13 and a half, 14 and a quarter area, it's a home run.
Okay, so you do like that name. What do you think about fintech in general? Would you choose a Square or a PayPal perhaps instead of this, or do you think those maybe are a little overheated and we should stick with a BFT? Or if you like fintech, why not just stick with JP Morgan and some of those names as well, as I know they're getting into that space?
All good ideas. I think you could pick and choose any one. Square for me had been
it's a little high right now.
Somewhere down around the 60-ish level when it broke above the moving averages back in March. I had been pushing that to the people that I speak to. Fintech has been high on my list for some time.
Yeah, this has been such a crazy run here for Square. I did pick some up at the bottom, but I've been dumping it, and what a mistake that's been as we're at 52-week and all-time highs. Good. Thank you, Mark. We're running out of time here, but thanks for the question, taking it from the audience. I'm going to throw it over to my friend Neil.
How's it going, Mark? It's Merger Monday, and of course, we've sort of touched on AstraZeneca here, but you talk about the Slack deal, and with all of these sort of I always try to put you on the spot here because this is what we do. But ultimately, is there anything that you might think related in the space could be potential targets? And I'm talking down the line of, like Dropbox, something along those lines. Is there any chatter or anything that you think could be a spicy potential target along the lines of what we saw with the Slack?
Yeah, what I've been reading this morning is Microsoft could go after MDB as in boy. Cisco could go after Smartsheet, SMAR, and Oracle or Now could go after Dropbox. Those are the three arenas I'm looking at. Dropbox hit my alerts on Friday, and then news came out that there was chatter, but I'm still very, very bullish on this group.
Yeah, and this is the one I was looking at this name, just obviously, as you mentioned there, if we can show the chart. Yeah, there you go. It's just a 15, so you can see what happened on Friday. And I think, interestingly enough, it's just right in this like breakout territory. Had some resistance back in May up at this 24 area, busting through, which might provide a bit of a base. And we have a couple bucks to go to the high. So I think even from the day traders here, there might be a couple dollars worth of room this week on a Dropbox. But certainly, there's a lot of activity this week. And we touched a little bit about Peloton here. What's your just general take before we get you out of here? What's your general take on the index rebalancing at the end of the week? Is there anything outside of a Peloton or a Tesla that you think is being, I don't want to say underreported or being overlooked when it comes to year-end reweighting?
Those are the two that I've read the most about. I'll probably have a little bit more information for you on Wednesday. I haven't seen anything else, either in conversation, written, or chatter of other names. That's been the biggest focus.
Perfect. So as always, stay cool. Stay warm. And Mark, thank you for coming on once again. Look forward to talking to you again on Wednesday, a little bit more about the rebalancing.
Great. Have a great day trading.
You too, Mark. I'll throw you back to Brent.
Great stuff. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Best of luck in the upcoming session. Mark will speak again on Wednesday.
Thank you very much for your time.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at the overall market, what we need to be aware of coming up this week. If you haven't done so yet, sign up for the watch list. We send it out every single morning before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. We discuss all the names that are moving around in the pre-market. We do apologize again this morning. It was Google. We were here. We were doing our best to get it out to you, but Google obviously having some issues this morning. Everything fine now. So if it has been delayed a little bit, our apologies. But all the stocks moving around in the pre-market and why on the watch list, so make sure you sign up for it. Let's jump into some travel names this morning, guys. We mentioned there with Mark, when it comes to any kind of positive vaccine news, as we've seen in the past, you get that kind of 3.5% to 5.5% bump right across the board. The cruise lines, the airlines, even the hotels, as he was mentioning, looking very strong this morning.
Before we get into this, do we thank Mr. Baked ESU? Baked? Either way, thank you very much for the super chat there. $50. We'll be doing we can all have Valeria coffees because she got away from her little tea experiment, I think. I mean, I don't know, I didn't double check.
Starbucks cup there?
But I feel like she's back at the Starbucks, so we can get like the super Valeria triple, quadruple syrup and whatever nonsense is in it. And then we'll fly high. And there you go. That's my segue into the travel space. Look, obviously, we talk a little bit about CCL here, and this is a name that I've sort of been waiting for it to get to this $26 area. We're still a couple bucks away from it. I feel like there's going to be a sweet opportunity to fade this 25, 26 when it gets there. I was looking at a potential push up to 25 this week, but it does feel like it's another 10% away. So we could be thinking about something like a dip buy. I'm just looking at one level and one level only on Carnival, at least until we get to some of those highs. This 21.25. You have pre-market lows here. You had a bit of a break in support last week. So if this gets down and tries to fill in this gap, I think there's going to be a good opportunity to pick this one up. Pre-market, it's done good volume in a very, very tight range. So there could be also those potential scalp breaks in either way. But I'm looking at that 21.25 if we ever get down there.
Yeah, I was looking at CCL, actually like a 23 break to the high side, but we got to wait to see what this market wants. Oops, I already called this up. I did want to show you this quickly here. We talked about it with Brendan earlier. This is our morning movers. It's absolutely free. Right now, we're going over some travel stocks, BFT to come, Tesla. It's all right here. We've already talked about AZN with Mark, but this is what you're missing out if you haven't signed up. It's completely free. Everything that you need to know and everything that we're going to be talking about, sign up watchlist.tradertv.live. Miss V posting that on the chat right now. And that's one thing that's changed the game for me, was making sure that we trade and watch stocks that are moving. And speak of the devil here, you guys want this pretty much all the time, it seems like, and so do we. Although, you know what, guys? I want you to make sure that you watch this. Like, screen cap this, take a picture, whatever. We'll show this in Balance Locator. These are the orders that are about ready to get done. Hey, Randy, what's going on, buddy? About to get done here during the market on open situation there that happens with the New York. It comes with one print. So right now, Pfizer, obviously, with that news. There's Foley right there as well with the big bid. Neo with the short. You were short, Neo, weren't you? Oh, you were long. Okay, so that's gone. Yeah. We'll wait on this one anyways. The short there, Space coming through, and now CCL. I looked at all the other travel names, and honestly, I'm more comfortable with CCL. I know Neil just talked about it, but we are bumping up to that 25 level again here today, although, it's 22. But look, we made a high of $23 on Friday. I really think that we should be able to take that out today. So let's wait to see what CCL does. I like that high side of $23, but we do have some gathering upside here the last couple of days around $22.50. So we can see if we take that out. Don't forget to change. I don't know if you did that already, Neil, but anybody else watching, H. We're now on the forward contract for the S&P and the NASDAQ futures with rebalancing happening on Friday.
Yeah, great point. Obviously, we were talking about the volume switchover back last week. Let's jump into upgrades and downgrades here, guys. A few names to add to the list possibly this morning. McDonald's down here on the upgrade side. This one as well, this Amneal Pharmaceuticals. We're going to talk about that. 6% still, but McDonald's having a little bit of a bid anyways in the pre-market. You can have a look at that. On the downgrade side of things, Airbnb, BJ's Wholesalers, Disney, and Michaels back into the retail space for downgrades this morning. We talked about these two, not really significant downgrades, but in negative territory, guys, for both Airbnb and Disney so far.
Yes, Amneal, the greatest company of all time, because they spell Neil with an A, the way it's supposed to be. Look, all kidding aside here, we touched on Airbnb just a little bit there, guys, and as Mark mentioned, it's not that, if you take a look at this valuation and sort of where it came in today, I don't know that this matters too much, getting that kind of coverage, as Mark said, but it is worth noting we're hanging right around those lows. Right off that 134, and it's just starting to get to that point where there's so much weakness in the stock. I want to show you a 1-minute chart just so you can look at what happened in the afternoon on Friday. I mean, this thing was basically looking like it was going to break out. I was sitting here watching a 147.50 area and thinking to myself, okay, you could have one of those afternoon breaks. It had done that in the past. And then just absolutely fell off of a cliff. It was a $10 move down, and now we're right off of those lows. So it's showing a little bit of weakness here. I got this 134, sort of 134.50 pegged as a bottom level that might get taken out, and then this surprised us. At least some of these names surprised us with their strength and ability to bounce. Last week, taking some of those shorts. So I will be looking at the close at 138 to 139 range, 139.25 technically. If we burst up through there, I think there's a momentum long. My first look is just at all the weakness I saw on Friday. So I'm looking at that bottom break.
All right, just fixing my mic here. But okay, look, I'm about to talk about Dash, but I looked over my trades. I have yet to make a successful trade on Dash, period. So I was thinking about this. I lost a hell of a lot in 10 seconds off the open on the IPO. You guys know about that. And then we were trying to short it basically every day. And it just hasn't worked out. And I don't know. It's just very, very choppy. This is DoorDash. So today, instead of always trying to force the fact, and like normally I would say, hey, we break 170, time to go short. Look at the spread though, right? $1.50 right now, if not more than that. So you got to watch out for the spread on DoorDash. I think liquidity obviously will come in as we get closer and closer to 930. But look, I'm going to short this level here, 175.25, 175.50, something like that. If I can get it, that's great. And then I just kind of want to use like 178, like up here, something like that as my out. I know it's going to be $3 or $4, but I do expect that if we can get a 175.50, 176 short, that's a good spot for me. It's better than me bouncing around here, like shorting this, having to absorb it. Like it's ridiculous trying to short a Dash for me. I've only been looking short on these IPOs. Maybe I need to change my mind. I do like them as a longer term investment, more Airbnb than Dash. But again, I was watching football all weekend and all I see is a DoorDash commercial.
Everywhere.
So I don't know, maybe they're spending a lot of that loot there, and that's probably well done, spending. Neil did say a big thank you. I want to do it again just to give some public recognition here. Mr. Bakadesu, thank you so much for that $50. Let's get it, man. It is time for coffee. I've already put out that I'm already done the coffee right now, so I'm on the backup right now. So thank you to my lovely wife for getting the Tim Hortons. Am I allowed to say that? The Tim Hortons backup there, well made. And then thank you as well, Gabriel Murdoch, right now for becoming a recent member. We do have that today. I don't know if it's coming up 1 or 2. I'm going to hit 1 right now, coming up for you guys at 11:35-ish. We'll be doing that. We do have Mr. Wonderful and JR Ron coming from MindMed, but members only Q&A, so the link will be there. If you are a member, you'll be able to join in, and it's the 4 of us. You can ask us whatever questions you like, and we will answer them at our best opportunity. And there it is again. Thank you for throwing that up as well. JR Ron and Kevin O'Leary coming through at about 11:15 with Brendan. So watch out, man. That stock, MindMed, MMED in Toronto, Neo Exchange, and then MMEDF over there on the OTC markets, the pink sheets. That stock's been rocket ship fire, guys. When they came on, as you know, Brendan, this stock was 30-40 cents. We're at the $4 mark. Hot fire.
Yeah, we're going to go straight to the source. We're going to talk to the CEO and ask him why. What's with the positive move? But yeah, pretty impressive move to say the least on MindMed. Let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the overall market, talk about the futures, what levels we need to be aware of as we try to bounce here a little bit this morning. We had that initial move to the downside, Arun, when it comes to the NASDAQ specifically, kind of followed that headline out of the EU on some fines coming for big name tech stocks, but trying to bounce here.
Yeah, NASDAQ is one thing. The ES is now what I'm focusing on, and the 3685 level that I marked off last week is, we've came off of it just now. So that level is still in play, 3685 on the back, on the top end. So what I'm looking at right now is I got 3675. It's not a level. It's just an area that I want to keep an eye on. If we can get underneath 3675 and actually settle in there, then I'm willing to take that short underneath with 3685 as a stop. If we break 3685, then I'm going to look for it to come down a bit so I can get a long with 3645 as a level. So we're kind of in between at the top end of the range between 3685 and 3645. Right now we're at 80 half. So not a whole lot to do here, but there's a couple of conditional situations that I'm looking at. So like I said, 3675, we get underneath, we settle in, shorts available with 3685 as a stop. If we break 3685, then come back a little bit more. Then 3645 is your stop for the long. So you either have a short or you have a long. Of course, if you break the 3685, first targets for me is going to be 3705 with 3715 as the top end. And of course, if you break 3645, then 3620 is the bottom level that I've got. So there's 4 different levels, conditional situation right now between 3685 and 3645 there, Brennan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning as we head towards the open here. Under 30 minutes to go, guys, before we get open. I want to talk about AI before we get back into the watch list this morning. We mentioned Airbnb, we mentioned Dash there a little bit, guys, but unlike both Thursday and Friday last week, we saw AI kind of leading the way in the pre-market. I mean, it is very strong once again, but there's more volume on Airbnb this morning. But yeah, this AI up here, 3.5% so far.
This is like the undercover stock here, I think. We always talk about the other two, and they're not performing well. They're both below their IPO price right now, considering the price that came to market. That's the price we're talking about, not the price that everyone got rich off of. AI. I mean, look, it's made a beautiful bottom here. I think Neil's talked about this before. It was trading a little bit last week. 115, 116. We topped off there a couple times. Remember, it came to market down here at 1. I think the first initial print was 110, I think, and then it went all the way to 110 up here. But you can see it's held this 115, 116 level. Now we're breaking higher. This is C3, man. It's all about AI these days and artificial intelligence, and we're just going to wait to see data mining. You talked about Palantir. We will get to Palantir in a minute. That's my baby. But for right now, AI, I don't have much to go other than if we ever take out the top here, I think there could be an issue for people that are stuck short some of these IPOs. So this one's been really good. I do watch watch out for this gathering. There's been a bunch of gatherings up here. You're not allowed to gather in the COVID times, but we'll wait to hear. 131, I like the break on this one. I know it seems far away right now, but 100,000 shares, I think it's beating the other two in volume. Good look on that one, Brendan, but right now AI, I don't know. I'm not in love with it in the middle here. I'd rather it break up or down. So you got 131 high side, which I'm like much better than this low side. I actually think that if it breaks 115, Neil, there could be buyers even down to 110 where we came to market at. So I'm only going to be looking long on AI.
I'm with you there. I'm only thinking about the longs. And you say it might not get to that 131, 132, but let's keep in mind, it's only traded a few days. And only the first day did it not test that level. So you might as well have that one filed away. I like a pullback even into 120, and I'll be having a look at that on AI. I might try the Airbnb short. I'm not getting into Airbnb before the open. I don't care, even if it does break, I'm not going to have it. AI would be similar, but if it does dip down into this 120 range here, I'm going to be looking to buy that dip, and then even if that breaks, take a shot at 115. I had the exact same plan at 195, lost on the 100 long, and then missed the opportunity at 95. So that's the thing. Even if we get a failed hold of 120. If it does test that 115, I do want to be trying that level as well. So I got to make sure I'm in there because I'm only going long AI today.
Okay, let's. I was just checking on this Novavax. Just saw a note from Jefferies, an analyst at Jefferies, with a positive note on the potential of Novavax's vaccine being very successful as well. So kind of gapping up here, yeah, 3.5%. We're back right at this top end of the range on the daily chart. Just be aware. Not a lot of volume though for Novavax, but worth a note. Let's go to Foley Trasimene Acquisition Corporation 2. I don't know. PaySafe over in the UK going public, $9 billion deal. We talked about it last week. Sean, what's up with this one today?
I guess long. I don't know. I don't really know what's up with these ones, to be honest with you. We asked Mark Roberts about it. I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but we did make PayPal our pick of 2020. I like the fintech space. Anytime you can tap and send money, super easy. I think that's great. I did a little more research on BFT. They have NetTeller. They have Skrill, which is another payment system. They're intertwined with DraftKings. They're intertwined with FanDuel. They have a bunch of different organizations all around the world where you can make it just so super easy to transfer cash and have remote wallets and things like that. Look, I mean, you can break it down however way you want. These are SPACs. It's a $9 billion deal. We'll wait till it actually turns into PaySafe. For now, I really like it. I like the name. I like the space. And I just think that, look, there's some stocks that are better to date than to marry, and I just think that this one is probably one of those. If we can get a spike upside here and get out before we have to worry. We saw what VTIQ did with Nikola. We've seen some of these other ones, Luminar, so on and so forth, some of these SPACs that have turned into monsters, and this just could be another one. I talked about it with Mark Roberts. There's a huge base down here. It seems like 13, like I'm only long right here on this initial break, so 1287. I think I'm long at there, and I've got a few other people into it, so hopefully it works out. But right now you're up to 15, so I think that's a pretty decent spot, even right now, to take some off. But with Palantir, guys, I took some off $15, $16, $17, $18, and now we're well, we're going to be in the 30s soon. We already been there. So I like BFT. Any pullbacks into 14, man, we're loading it up. I don't know if that happens today or not. We could fall off the open. Everybody knows about that. This is already the all-time high, so we're going to wait on it. But here we go. Let's open up the chart again and just see. We touched 16 today. 1050, good luck getting that number ever again. I like this 1350 area, like I said, to back the truck up, but that is BFT quickly. Let's throw up the balance locator. Pfizer, 1.3. And I mean, how often do you see these new stocks here? I'm not even sure what the float is, but 1 million shares to buy into 4 million already. I'm liking the space. I'm liking the stock. And yeah, take some profits off. I mean, it's 15% from the call. If you're just in from Friday, welcome to 10%. I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of a return on a somewhat unknown entity right now.
Yeah, I mean, that 15 looks like a mighty spicy right now. And if you got to like that, I mean, both the analysis and I'm sort of enamored by how easily that the company name rolled off the tongue there for Brendan. But a couple people in the chat, I mean, Tammy, I see you there, Daryl as well, noting 5,000 people watching plus. But the likes are sitting at 850, my math, what is that, 17% at best. I'm a baseball guy, And if you're not hitting 250, then you're a chump and you're going back to the minor leagues. Bull Durham says you got to hit 300 to make it to the show. This is a good show, so let's get us to the show by getting up to that 30% mark. I mean, obviously, we do this for you guys. I love that analysis, Sean. The only thing I'm going to add here is I really, really like this 15 area, not just because you had a pre-market move off of that level, but you had a high last week of 85. So if we can hold that range, it's not the even dollar that concerns me the most. It would be about that 25-cent range, the quarter, the 3/4 to the 15. I think if it holds that, there's a nice ramp-up point where you should have some support, guys. So let's have a quick look at this name. I think it's a fantastic one, as Sean mentioned. As far as taking profit goes, no one ever went broke by taking profit. I think we all know that.
Tesla higher here, guys, in the pre-market in a decent way at that. They came out this morning and said they're going to shut down production of Model S and Model X vehicles for 18 days, starting on December 24th. Affected staff getting 5 unpaid days within that 18-day period. But they did say that they can volunteer in other areas of the business. But it's an interesting move here over the holidays, I guess, to shut down production.
Yeah, well, Tesla. Yeah, I was actually just looking at XPEV there, got me thrown off a little bit. Okay, Tesla 620. I mean, look, I don't think there's anything that really that ever stops. Did someone just yell to me? No, Randy. Okay, nobody. I'm hearing things. Hello, welcome to Monday morning. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the ghosts are haunting me here. The Tesla ghosts. Okay, 620. Look. I don't know. We had some problems there over Friday. We bounced a little bit here. We got as high as 625. That was right off the open before tanking and breaking through 600 and then making a beautiful comeback all the way to 6. And then you get bumped up a little bit here today. Look, their inclusion is happening on Friday. We've talked about that. That should be a monster opportunity. I think the only real play this week is watch the market. And, you know, if Tesla goes this week, that's going to be fantastic and such a big bonus for everybody. But we already know what's coming on Friday. A lot of the times you have, and I always screw this up, but we buy the rumors and sell the news. So I just think that, you know, it's already baked in already about Tesla. There's no surprise here that this is entering the NASDAQ or in the S&P. So we're going to wait to see that 636. I think if we could take that out, that's Thursday's high, then that's going to be fantastic. Other levels to look at. Not much, man. I mean, what is this high right here? 625. So there's a few levels there. I don't think we'll be going short Tesla, not until about maybe even Friday, the day that actually happens. We'll see some monster trades off the open, as you know, Neil, and then some monster ones off the close. So 625 here, a break today I think is worth it, and then use this little bottom as our breaking spot. So 625 long, we get out if we break back below 620. So $5 either way, I'm happy. We go long, we see if we take out the high. 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Let's see what happens with Tesla today.
Cosign. The only thing I'll say about 625 is I am not shorting that level. I did it on Thursday and lost. I had 98, so that was a great price. And then didn't do it on Friday, which would have been fantastic off of the open. I just feel like after it bounces back through 600, supporting that, and you get a gap up, the next time should be good to go. And I feel much more comfortable taking this break earlier on in the week, as you said, Sean, as opposed to at the end of the week when everybody knows exactly what's happening.
All right, guys, we're getting on in time a little bit here. Quickly, thoughts on AstraZeneca day lows at the moment, $39 billion deal. We can skip over it. I mean, it's weak. It's at lows right now.
You don't have to skip over it. I mean, look, I dumped this stock. I talked about this. I dumped the stock at 54.55 when we saw some negative news about the vaccine. Now you're seeing a big deal come through. It's down 7%. You know what? I was buying it because they were a lagger in the vaccine and the way they've been moving. But here you go, AstraZeneca today. A big name, a big move down. Neil, you may know more about the buyout. Hold on 1 second before we go and this doesn't disappear. Thank you so much to Ramba Zamba for the $11, the €11 there. Means a lot to us. Thank you. Don't thank us. Thank you guys for joining the show and definitely celebrating our successes and yours. I mean, I hope the most of it is yours as well. So thank you, Ramba Zamba, for that contribution. But Neil, look, I'm not big into these buyouts, but AstraZeneca right here just looks like it's a weak stock, and I'm going to be staying away.
Yeah, and look, it's just over a third of the deal is going to be cash. So if you are watching Alexion there, you're going to have to be tracking AstraZeneca, and that's going to make it tricky to trade if you want to be picking up Alexion. Although a bottom play isn't crazy. If you just sort of look back at this, and I put a 30-minute chart up just so you can sort of see AstraZeneca off of this 50. I'm usually all over that notion of taking the overbought of the acquirer. And I would probably take a look at this 50 area if there was maybe a failed breakthrough or a gigantic size, just an obvious a buyer. But I'm not seeing anything like that yet. It does sort of stand out there. I think what might be the interesting play would, if you're watching Alexion when the AstraZeneca gets to 50, or if it gets to 50, maybe pick that up, because if there's a breakdown, it might be a slower move in Alexion at the time. Because of the cash portion of the deal, it does give a little stabilization to Alexion. But I'm watching AstraZeneca through 50. That's going to be a big time level, and it wouldn't be crazy if in the morning it sold through that level. But if it holds, I think you can probably do some scalp trading on either one of those two names off of AstraZeneca's level.
Okay, let's go to the Chinese EV space. We're going to talk about XPeng and NIO here. There was a Barron's note that came out, it was late last week or maybe even over the weekend, talking negatively about specifically the Chinese EV makers. We saw some weakness in this group last week. Deutsche Bank then coming out this morning, initiating coverage on XPeng. Yeah, that one. With a buy rating, $58 price target for Deutsche Bank guys on XPeng.
Okay, I had talk about NIO because, we did get hit on that early on Friday on this drop, and then picked it up and hammered it back to the upside and wound up being a pretty positive stock for us. So I do want to use NIO as an example here and probably trade the same way. 39.50 as the bottom. You're going to see here on the daily chart. We're busting out again down to that level. I mean, maybe Citron, I was kind of mocking them for $25. That was a while ago. They did make this call down to 25 as a price target. I don't think we're getting there, but we are getting really close to this level, and that's why I want to talk about NIO right here. We're getting close to this 37.50, which is the 50-period moving average. So I do expect some kind of a bounce off there. Not only that, but we do have a beautiful bottom here of 38.40. Made back down in November 6th. I can't believe we're talking about November 6th, not even that long ago, but a month ago. $38, $39 was some bottoms here on a daily chart. So if we get rid of the daily and now just look at a 3-minute, I wrote down, I don't have much on my magic sheet here today. I see a lot of you guys wanting to know about the Post-it notes, but where is it there? I have NIO 41 with a hell of a lot of stars there, as well as CCL at $23. But this 41, I just thought if we could break this, it's 41.35, but getting back to 41, a pretty key level. I did like that, but we're a little ways away. I've made crazy calls like this before. Let's just wait to see 40.20 as the high. You could break this down to a 1-minute chart and get a little more love for NIO here. Can I break it down to a 1-minute chart? There it is, a 1-minute chart. Yeah, I don't know. I really prefer to see what happens if we get back to 41. Break 41, take the long, watch out for 41.30. Other than that, I want to go short NIO, but I don't know. What is the imbalance locator right now? Quickly before I throw back over to Neil. Balance locator still a sell, a million to sell. Sorry, Brandon, back to you. What's up?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Neil's having some technical issues, so we'll continue along here. The deal with NIO is they priced that offering this morning that we were talking about last week. So 68 million ADSs coming in at $39. So that's why NIO is negative, and you're seeing XPeng, you're seeing even Li Auto, I noticed, was back to the upside this morning, but a little bit of relative weakness there in NIO. Let's talk, we can go back over to Sean.
Yeah, if you want to, just to give it some XPEV as Neil is having some tech issues there. So XPEV going the other way, though. So NIO goes down 5%, XPEV taking out the top. This is why I'm honestly thinking that NIO has a chance to go. It's already been priced. The news is already in there. Obviously, some Chinese names here moving to the upside, including XPEV, looking to take out this 46.80 level that we made. This is a 1-minute chart. So again, look what happened off the morning. On Friday, we had a big move down, and then it just ripped off basically all morning until we got into some consolidation areas there. And the top, this is the kind of level I'm looking at right now. That's 46. That's right where we are right here. You have a top of 46.80. I think we could take all of this out. But if I'm thinking long in XPEV, I would just much rather, and again, call me silly, but I'd much rather go long on NIO instead and just play this volume. 15 million versus XPEV's 1 million. Let's stick with NIO, especially if you're using more shares. Watch out for this level, though. 39.60 on a break back to the downside. We still got to clear up this imbalance, though, Brendan. So I'm going to wait on NIO. I'm not going to have any market on open orders. I'm just going to watch it aggressively from the open.
Yeah, I'm back here. It's a bit of an issue with my, possibly my keyboard, but had to just fix my layout there. I took a trade Neo already lost, guys. I was looking at a 40 break and then a hold of like 39.65. So I did have about a 90 average price, and then it broke down. I'm glad I took it off, even though it looks like it's bouncing back to the upside. I wanted to be long this name off of this 39 support, but it doesn't have to be a breakout. I'll probably look to see if it can hold it on a bit of a dip here. That's all I have to add new. You'll see it on my P&L there for a losing trade. I want to get to one other one very quickly if I can, because I was trying to say TLGT, which I don't know if this got to our watch list or not. Make sure. Yeah, it might not have been there at the bottom. I might not have made it. But this one breaking back up towards $1. I had a pre-market trade off of the 95 level. It made another run at the high, a $1.25 tops. I'm still looking to play this one off of penny stock status, so if it holds below this new 107, 110 range, you'll probably see me still jumping into a short there, but I loved it when it was rolling over off of 95, and I would play that again to be sure.
All right, guys, let's go to Virgin Galactic here next. Space to the downside this morning in a big way. They had to cut short that test flight we were talking about all last week. So strength came in initially last week when they announced that the window for this flight was going to be open as of Friday. They did make the flight on Saturday, but they had to cut it short for what they're calling ignition sequence problems in the actual spacecraft. So Virgin downside here today.
I mean, is this really news? Like, I get that it's news, but were we expecting everything to be 100% perfect in the first place? Look, I mean, I'm not an investor of this name space right here. You can see 300, 400,000 shares to sell. I don't know. I think this is a little overdone, but the move on the upside was also overdone. So I think you had a little bit of both happening here. A break from this level, 26, 27. Fantastic break. When that happened, you see it right to the upside. I mean, there's the official break, 27 all the way to 35, 36, and then a pullback. Look, it's sad. It's bad when this stuff happens. It is a setback. But again, like, I don't really think that we had a realistic timeline in the first place for some of the space travel. So, yeah, we're going to get setbacks, and I don't expect... Like, I remember back in the day when someone set a Tesla car on fire, and then Tesla went down from, like, $80 to $50, and everyone was like, oh, there's all these battery problems, blah, 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 blah. Now, I get that this is a spaceship, a little different than a car, but again, you know, it landed, had some problems landing. It's not like it blew up in space or anything like that. $28, I like a break on this one. I think it's overdone. $27.50 I like for a long through on space, and it is the final frontier. So let's see if Superman can come through and hit this going through $27.50. I like it. I'm going to try it. If it fails, and we'll get out at 27. But I like space through 27.50. I believe this is overdone.
Yeah, I'm sort of along the same lines here, Sean. I can't believe we're down 15% off of this. It was a safe, abort there, and I think safety features sort of went to as expectations, and that's one of the things that you can certainly take as a positive. The only difference is I was watching a 28 level, a little bit more than the 27.50, and then also going to be ready to dip into anything if we can hold that pre-market low. If this gets sold off in a 26 and catches a bounce, I think it's an interesting way to get into this name as well off of the open, guys.
All right, guys, let's go to a lot more people joining us just in the past few minutes here. Might have missed, we discussed Airbnb a little bit earlier, but why don't we go back over the chart a little bit more here and talk about what to do with Airbnb this morning.
Okay, what did I write down for Airbnb? I didn't really write down anything for Airbnb. I haven't, we've been trading this one a lot better than we have been trading DoorDash. So I still have the DoorDash short that I do like at 75, 76, 175, 176. Airbnb, whatever you think about the valuation, it's been kind of a fun ride. Let's go to a 3-minute chart so you can see more about the levels. It's only been its birthday a couple days ago. So we're going to wait to see 150. That's been a nice little level there. But since then, it's just been kind of fading off. Look at this drop that happened at about 3 o'clock. I'm not even sure what this was, but 147 all the way down to 138 in a straight line basically on Friday. So we're going to watch out for something like that. We did base off there 147, 148. But other than that, we still got to watch out, man. 138 top there. I actually like a break higher on 138, but I've remained relatively short here on Airbnb during trading. I would love to get long on this name. I think 100 pin maybe on the long side, but for right now, the bottom of the day is 134. We didn't have to pay for short, so it's available from our broker free of charge on the short side. So that's a good one for all of you as well. I actually like a 138 break long. So let's just wait to see if Airbnb, Brendan, can break above that 138 level.
Okay, guys, there's a lot of little tiny small caps moving around this morning right across the board. I was just having a look at this one, ARVN, which is a Revenus. There was some positive data on one of their treatments that they're currently working on in a trial. So not on the watch list this morning, but ARVN, worth a look as well. We can talk about this Veru Incorporated, which is VERU. There's also this ANPC, but let's go to VERU, up 51% here this morning, guys, on some news about a positive phase 2 metastatic breast cancer treatment that came back positive. So we had a couple of these names last week that reported some positive trial data on specifically breast cancer treatments, and we saw huge moves out of these stocks. So this is another one, VERU, micro cap company size, but big move here this morning.
Well, you know what microcap means? Microcap means micro profits, possibly here. I don't know why I hit the EV space. Most of these names are in that space, but here's VERU. Okay, look, I mean, you're up 53% here. You've done 12.5 million shares. It's already a monster. It's already a microcap. We were 250 about a month ago, so to be at $10 today is pretty sweet. When these stocks get going, I can't say it enough. You guys have seen them run so many times. High side, this is the all-time high for this stock, at least recently as I look at some daily charts. 1150 is the high of the day. I don't know if we get back there. Normally, at this time, it's 9:25 with only 4 minutes to go. We normally, guys, see stocks starting to run at this point. So I'm actually looking, and I don't have any shorts right now, I'm actually looking to think about $9 break. We do have VWAP making some marches around $10 right now. So I would say a 9 break, use VWAP as your route. This one doesn't look like it wants to go, but if it does, you can't hold it through 950. Marvell, though, was a stock that's looking really sweet right now. Another inclusion into the NASDAQ 100 with Peloton. So this is a good one, only up 2.84%. That's not what's exciting to me on this stock. It's these kind of levels right here. It looks like we're trying to break out on Marvell. So right here, it's not Marvel. Disney's already owns that. This is Marvell Technologies. So you have a little top right here that we're just trying to take out right now, and that's 44.50. So I do have an order to go long, 44.50 on Marvell, giving it all the way back to about, I don't know, I kind of want to give it to this VWAP, but we may have to give it $1, so 43.50. Let's just see if the momentum's into this name. Marvel here, 44.50. The order's already ready to go. Brendan at the big screen.
Yeah, one more to go here, guys. Well, there's more, but we'll get to the little ones throughout the trading session. Wanted to mention Socket Mobile here, 18% still, but we've come well off the highs, just kind of floating here right above $3 even. For me, this is $3, this pink line. This thing needs to get below $3 to be a short today, otherwise it could be strong. They just announced they were forgiven for a PPP loan that they took out in this corner when they filed their 8K back on Friday after market. So you can see a big move on Friday on that news. It was about a $1.5 million loan that they're not going to have to pay back, guys.
Yeah, and I'm just getting back online here, guys. Sorry, I had a bit of an issue with my system there, and it was actually PC related, so I had to restart my PC. So thank you guys for covering for me. I'm not in the chat right now. I'm going to have to jump back in a couple of minutes, but I did want to quickly go over, I know Brendan already talked about Socket, but I wanted to make sure I jump back over to one of these other names, that's CYBX. Is one that I'm looking at off of the open, off of this 340, 350 area. If it gets back up there, I'm going to be jumping into the short. NEO is about to retest 40 even, so with a couple of minutes to go, the break didn't work the first time. I still see a big time buy order like on NEO just popped in there for 500,000 shares there at 40 even. So it looks like it's going to be a battle wage at 40. I'll play off that 65. I think it's a better level.
Guys, 8,000 watching. Thank you so much for that. Neo's right here. Let's call up the balance locator quick time here if we can. Pfizer's still rocking and rolling. I'm going to stay away from that. I think that's a little bit of FOMO there. People hear a lot about the vaccine and they want to buy the stock. I'm going to say no on that. We're going to wait to see Neo dropping down. It's right here. That's the one I'm going to look at, see if we can pick up Neo on the cheap there and then use like 39.40. Let's just play the momentum. BFT losing a little bit of steam. It's now about 7th or 8th on here. Palantir, I love a 29.50 break. That's on the board right here. 29.50. SpaceX 27.50. Palantir's there. Neo looking for 41, and then CCL we're looking for 23 to take out the top there. I don't know. That seems a little aggressive. 23 all the way high. I don't know if that's going to hit, but we'll wait to see if CCL can do that with less than a minute to go, guys. SpaceX 27.50. That's going to be one of my early trades as well as Neo.
Yeah, and I think there's some shenanigans going on behind us there, but I think with just under a minute to go to that bell, I want to make sure we get back over to that AI. It is pressing towards that 124, but it has sold off. So I'm looking at a 120 buy, first level, second level. If it ever tests that 115, 116, we know that was good support last week, but first things first, a 124 breakout, a 120 dip buy on that name. I heard the term Charlie's Angels, and if you're familiar with it, maybe there's something crazy going on behind me here, but Randy's always trying to crack us up here. It's a Monday. It's going to be an active day worth of trading. Should be fun for us. Let's drop this countdown and get this party started. So let's go with the 10 to the 9 to the 8. And once again, Neo just cannot break through 40 even. There's the pose. I thought, Randy, you were going to break this off by ringing the bell with your head. I guess not. 3, 2, and 1.
Okay,
of course, he does actually hit his head. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. We're ready to rock and roll here. I'm not into anything yet. We're going to wait to see Neo. I don't think it's printed yet. We're still bouncing around, waiting for the NYSE to open this stock up. We're still waiting for the NYSE to open up Space as well. Palantir, everything taking its slow time right now today to open up. So those are those names. Nothing open yet. Check in on BFT. Maybe that's open.
Yeah, and still waiting for the open on Neo, but it is busting that 40 level. That TLGT found a bit of a bid here at 93. Check that. If it gets up to this 110 range, I am going to take a shot. But this looks like first crack will be 93 breakdown. If it does that, we'll get in. Still watching Neo. It just traded above 40, but no open. 17 million shares. Still waiting for the open on NIO.
Yeah, we are. 40.20 maybe as a long here as we wait for the open. It looks like Space is now open. So,
whoa.
Okay, Virgin Galactic going to the downside. This is open. So Virgin, we talked about waiting for 27.50. That does not come in. Watch for a 26 bid. It's going to smoke 26.50 right now. Let's get long right now. Actually, let's get long if we can, about 26. It just bounced off that 26.50, guys.
Just worth noting here, MindMed opened up. It opened at 545, so it opened up 20% to the upside.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Go. So look, it is momentum is momentum, Momo as we like to call it. It just dipped back to 550. I'm just gonna play it off of this this opening range bottom here. The 530 level immediately held, and then we ramped up. So if it holds that on any kind of a bounce, I'm gonna take my shot long on MindMed. This trades over on the.
Okay, there goes Tesla. Tesla breaking
CSE,
through as well. Yeah, trades over.
Oh, there goes Neo.
Okay, Tesla, we're long here. 625. We're also long Space. We just crushed Space. A big win on Space, guys. And then we went long again, so we just took Space long. 26.94 out. Big win. Now here's our 27.75. Bang for Space. It starts off right here. We take out the hammer. Now let's go, guys. Space with a nice move to the high side here. Well in the money. Tesla, $3 in the money. Let's keep going, guys. Big time moves happening everywhere. Let's go.
Brennan, what's up, bud?
Real quick, guys, there is actually a headline here on MindMed that we can ask the source about. CEO J.R. Ron coming on, so we'll ask him about this. Pre-IND meeting with FDA for Project Lucy successfully completed today, so it could be why, guys.
Oh, Lucy, right now it's time to make some money. 625 in, Tesla out, 628.50. Still got a third of that one. And look at Space. Boom! We talk about hitting this one out of the park, guys. Look at this. And we are acting like Superman today because you know what? I talked about loving this stock. Look where we picked it up. 26.94. Late on the 26.50 buy. Out here. Long again. Out. Space rocking to the high side there. And good thing we got out of our Tesla, guys, for that. On 2/3 of that out for $3. Let's hold it and see if it breaks back 620. But Space, Neil, that's a big trade. Goal hit, but we have more to go.
There's always more to go. I mean, I'm going to be late to Tesla. Obviously, when you're logged out, you're probably not going to have any stop orders in. But AI did bounce down towards that 120. It immediately comes off of this level here. We talked about buying that dip off of 120 even. I just got some out at 121. 23. So you call it like a dollar win. I'd like to extend this into 123 if I can, and then run that up to that 124 potential breakout if it ever gets there. Watching out for that Tesla because I did buy it as well, but on the pullback, Sean, not on the actual breakout. Obviously, I wasn't locked and loaded and ready to go, but this 620 level, I like it, and 622 for me would be where I try to pick up that dip. I want to be holding some of this for a 630, get some out, and then 630, you want that to break and then continue to hold that to the upside. I want to be in Tesla, hopefully, all the way to 635, ideally today.
And we did it again, guys, so we'll just hit some exploding of some money. I have a new one for you soon, but right now we're going to hit some explosions here. This is a monster win, man. 26.95 initial long, out for the dollar, and then in again on a monster position of 27.58. This is why we add space, right? Look at the bottom, 27.50. How many stars is that? 3, the largest one. We wait for NEO now to go. Tesla's still making moves. We'll get some more out of space here. 28.40, still making moves the high side. What up, Bren?
Just had an alert here, guys, on this one. BFT, all-time highs this morning as soon as the market opened, but did flush through 15, but right back above it now, heading upside for BFT.
What was that? 15.50. Okay, yeah, I'm still waiting for $20 on this one. Little bit greedy on BFT, guys. But right now we're 2 for 2. Check back. I don't know if you have NEO yet, Neil, but I do not. Looking to get long.
Oh, I want to be. I'll be sick about NEO. These things are going to happen. Obviously, as I was trying to get back online for you guys, NEO broke right at the open. I was still setting things up. It looks like it might give a bit of a pullback here into like 40.20 or so. I'll take a shot. At a 20, maybe like a 25 or maybe a 30 long on any kind of a pullback. Tesla coming back to that 22 where I'd like to pick some up. MindMed made a dip. I was able to pick some shares up, but my price is like 28s here. This is going to be a mostly scalp trade for me. But if you look at this, it was so thin off of the open that I just looked to see if it can't defend the pullback. Now we're headed back towards the high. 561 is the actual high. I'm long here at 523. This, of course, is trading in Toronto on the NEO exchange. Brennan?
Just looking at AMC Entertainment, big flush here. I'll show you the chart first. Straight southbound, $4 down to $3.50. They're talking about a lifeline loan that they've secured, but still some bankruptcy risks. Not too far off in the distant future for AMC, it looks like, guys.
Okay, and here it is, guys. Backflip again. Let's go, man. Peloton long through 122. We love the Peloton long through 120. We miss it. But hell, guys, we'll take 50 cents right now, and we're still ripping to the high side. So a nice little long on Peloton, out of a third right here. Let's just see how high it can go. This is going to be one that I think we should probably hold. Let's give it back to 119 if we can. And here goes. Boom! There it is, guys. Money spinning around for Peloton today. Everything making that cash for us. We have a nice little $3 win on Tesla. We're going to hold this back to 620. We're not going to give that money back. Hell no on that. Peloton right now, we're long at 122.20. It's $1 in the money. And then Virgin Galactic, my biggest win here by far today, 27.50. We're going to give this one back to about 27.30 where VWAP is, but a nice big time win on this. Let's go Peloton, 123.20. Let's just see how high this one can go up. I think we can crack 125 today, guys, on Peloton.
We're going to do some backflips for it because on the right day, MindMed is going to right now be my top stock. I'm trying to see if Tesla can hold 620. It might not, Sean. But I just got some out there at 553. My best entry was this 520 on the dip. They're just sort of coming right back in. It looks like it's rejecting the current high. The momentum is just insane with this stock. So taking advantage of it. 2 million shares have already gone off on the NEO exchange. And a bit of resistance here at that 560. But I'm looking to hold the last bit through that 560 mark. I will. It's been a roller coaster, obviously, upside on MindMed. But Tesla just breaking 620s. That's a loser for me there, guys. AI, on the other hand, at least that is working out for us. We talked about this one, double dip down at 120. This is the level we liked, so we'll line it up. We'll knock these pins down because you play off that level not once, but now twice, and it's at 122. So I missed these opportunities for the dip buy, and I bungled this on last week. Not happening today. It's relatively strong. I like that 120 level. We've done it twice now. I still want to run some into the 124 if it can get there. Just hasn't happened for me yet on AI.
Okay, so Peloton coming back in, but I'm not going to take any off. I'll lose on this one. I'm back to 119. I just think it can go. So we'll wait on that one. Could be wrong. Who knows? We're already really nice. We did get out of our last little bit of Tesla there. Okay, so you guys thought maybe I was joking when I said 41 for NEO, but it gets to 40.90 and then stops. So let's wait to see. Normally, this is a high that I take off there at $40.20. You would have seen me go crazy if we would have had that long, but we don't. So we still wait for that 41 and see if it does want to bounce off of there. But NEO coming back in, looking to build. And I think we'll take a long if it gets back into this area, 40.30 for now. Peloton still going. Virgin Galactic still trying to go, bouncing off 28. Again, this is my out down here, 27.30 or change. Give it to us, Bren.
Okay, so all kinds of volume just popping in on both of these. First off, Alexion here, ALXN, just breaking to the upside through 158. I'll shift over to the other one, AZN, if my chart will work. There we go. Yeah, big pop here from 50.5 right through to 51. So both of these just popping up on a volume scanner, guys.
Yeah, look, obviously that 50 level looking like it's going to hold. Well, it did hold already a one time through here, but if it can't get back through like a 51 handle even, a dollar price on AstraZeneca, that's not nearly bullish enough, I think, off that kind of a bounce. So it looks like we're about to retest 50, the current low 50.27. I would not be surprised if it tests even, then you try to take a bounce off of that. I can tell you MindMed is now at got 587. It's now at 576. That one actually continues to the upside. Still long a piece here at 521, but do want to go back over to Socket. I wasn't able to get into Socket, and I don't know why it's not showing up there. Oh, there we are. It is on my board. So it hasn't broken this $3 range. I do want to see if I can't fade something off 350, but as Brendan mentioned, it's looking a little bit strong. So if I take a short, it's likely to be a tight stop, like a 340 with a 350 stop, or I'm just going short when this breaks 3 even, guys.
Okay, I'm going to hit it because we have a bunch of new alerts for trades. So Marvel right now long 44.52 breaks that top. So let's wait to see inclusion into the NASDAQ. We have both of them, man. We have Peloton right now. That's $1 in the money. So Peloton making moves to the high side right now. We still have grander visions on this one for sure. So let's wait on that one. Oh, Palantir. We get in on a 28 break. So we're long 28.03. Took some out at 10. Now we're going to the high side. Take some more out at quarters if we could get up to there. So right now, Palantir, we're going to wait to see what it does at 28. I'm going to get out of this one if it breaks down below 27.90. So this is not going to be, again, like I said, we're not married to this stock today, that's for sure. See if we get some out here at 14.15. Come on, I'm waiting at 15. See if we can't take a little piece off to get some out at 15. That'd be nice. And then again, we'll wait for the high side of 28.25 or so on Palantir. Peloton looks like it wants to bounce off 123. So let's take a little piece off again at one. There it comes. Let's take a little piece off if we can get it around here, 123.25, and then let the last third. Now, you know what? Let's just let Peloton ride. What up, Bren?
Another one to look at, guys. Zillow making moves this morning, 6.5% already, just straight to the upside, 128 to 135. They're talking about an app, or this is a real estate website that has an app for the regular market, but they're also talking about one for ultra luxury listings, guys. So Zillow, all-time highs this morning.
What a big time move that one's been. And Airbnb, it is what it is. I'm going to miss several trades today, having been down off of the open. But 134.50 was the bottom break. I said I'd try to go short there. Can't do it if I'm not logged in and set up. But it just tested 130 even. Socket just broke 3, so that's a new position alert. Just got in at 299 to the short side. And 580 over there on my mind. I might start taking that one off if I can. But there's a 130 break on Airbnb. This continues to the downside. I'm going to try to pick something up if I can a little bit late to this party off of a 131 pullback. I did get a reload on NEO. Finally, I mean, I missed the 40 break, but it just bounced off VWAP here for me. And I got 40.29 in front of that quarter. I just took them out for a 20-cent winner. The rest we'll take out in front of this current high of the day, 40.85. Brendan?
A little pop here for Fisker today, guys. 3.8% for FSR. Just saw it popping up through $15 there, 3.5% on the day. We're still kind of hovering over here around this $15. But it was Goldman Sachs initiating Fisker at, neutral, with a $15 price target.
All right, yeah, Neil, you just reminded me there about this price, so I took it a little early here as we'll wait for 39.79 or something like that to break here on NEO. We get in again. We're going to see if we get a little bit more. We just took some 40.40s there, and then we get some 40.24s or so, just using 40 as the break. I was wanting to get more long if we did come back to VWAP. Oh, wow, we came back in a hurry, and now we're tanking to the downside, so watch out on that one. Palantir does break back below 27.85 there, so we're going to watch that. I still think that we can go long if it gets back up here, but it needs to try one more time. 28.11, we're going to try it for one more time on Palantir. Let's wait to see. Marvel's not going in the right direction. Thank you for everybody who's on with us right now. If you join us after the show, we do have coming up is our chat after the show with all of our members. So for $4.95 a month, you get us one-on-one. That's coming up right after the show at 11:30. So get ready for that one. Disney's coming back down. Chewy's coming back down. A few different things. Marvell, though, we're waiting to see if this one comes back through 44. I'm going to drop it if it gets to 44, guys. We're long here off of a nice little opportunity with a NASDAQ inclusion.
Yeah, and wow, NEO just burst through that 40, so the reload got stopped out. It took a little bit of profit when it made 20-cent move to the upside there. But Airbnb back through this 130 mark. This is me getting it not on the break, but on the way back in here. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I'm not sure it's enough catalyst to get this thing out of this tight little range that it's been in. Rocket, I'm talking about here, 4% today, but look at the daily chart. Really tight range. We're moving higher, 4.5%. On news that Morgan Stanley, guys, is making a $34 million investment in rocket companies.
All right, and that's one of the picks, guys. We already have Rocket on our board for you guys for a nice little play, so we'll see. Thank you, Morgan, for joining the party on RKT. Right now, we don't have much else, man. NEO did drop down. We're going to give it another low down to here. I think this is a good opportunity to pick some up, but you got to be very, very careful with NEO as it just tends to move with 50 million shares today, guys. Watch out for this one, rocking and rolling right now. That, of course, is NEO. Upside surprises coming out. I don't know. We're going to wait to see if it breaks back above. I'll take a 40-50 break if that happens.
Yeah, so got that short in Airbnb 129.86. It's about to break 129, or at least trying to break 129 to give me over $1 on the first little bit of that trade. I'm trying to get in TLGT. It made a run and tested the high. Now, I did have a couple of shorts here. The last one stopped me out at 95, but patiently waiting for it to test the pre-market top at $1.25. Once it did and faded, now we're catching this rollover here. 114, going to start a new position for the third time in TLGT. MindMed, you know, it just again tested the 585 high. I might consider getting this one out in front of $6, but finding some resistance at about 6. 521, a great little buy off the bottom. But TLGT looking like it's about to fade in. I want to be adding to this position, not necessarily taking it off just yet. And there's Airbnb, just bounced off 129, so back to evens, guys.
I was going to say, good idea. Let's see if we can take advantage of this possible O'Leary bump here in MindMed coming from today. Okay, NEO still 40.50. Just so you guys know, that's the target that I have on, ready to lock and load on that one. That's NEO at 40.50. And then CCL is not really near that 23 yet. Peloton still hovering around high side, guys. Brendan, what's up, bud?
One we were looking at back on Friday, guys, if you remember, Lulu just popping up, had a big flush on Friday following earnings, but back above 344, which was support throughout the day on Friday. So looking a little more positive today for Lululemon.
And trying to look a little more positive. I was looking for an opportunity to buy 26s if I could on Virgin Galactic. You're sort of seeing it make a nice little spike. It tested the top. Now it looks like it's rolling over. Now 26 was the level I wanted to defend. I'll probably jump in front of it if I get an opportunity. Airbnb just continuously sort of hanging around this 130 mark. I'll probably have to take some off for less than $1 if I want to scalp some of this trade, and then look to see if we can't hold the rest of it there, guys. TLGT. That's over in the small cap space. This one looking like it wants to go a little faster than I had expected here. I thought maybe there'd be some consolidation for me to add to my position in the teens. That hasn't happened. This 105 bounced off at once already, so I'm probably going to start taking it out at VWAP between here and that 105. Take like 5-cent scalp trades. If it breaks through, I want to be holding down towards that 92, 94 area where I had to cover the first short. If it breaks through there, 93, I still want to take a breakdown trade at 93, so I'll be out of just about everything here on this 114 short, guys.
Okay, yeah, so Peloton still doing what we thought it would do, and that's making moves to the high side, but we did have to absorb it all the way back down here to 122. So not a great first move here. Well, we got a great first move for Peloton, but we're still waiting. I still think we can get out the top here, 123.40, 123.60, and I'm not going to get out. So I think we have a lot more to go here on Peloton. And then the other one that's not doing what we thought it would be Marvell here, going to the upside. So that's 2. We're taking the bumps here, hopefully on the NASDAQ 100 inclusion, but right now 2.73% doesn't seem to want to make the mark here, as NASDAQ, though, continues to make moves higher. So very strange here on some of these names. Tesla did fall back in, 617, 620, so hopefully some of you are still on that one, but a nice little drop there on Tesla. And then we can check back on Palantir, 2768, not doing anything, and we still have our NEO, part of our NEO long here at 40.25, waiting for 40.50 to come back from the dead here. May even take another shot right now at 40.15, as it looks like it may have made a bottom here in the 85 area. So let's go a little more long NEO, but then really wait for this 40.50 here.
Yeah, and just got that dollar, well, just shy of that dollar on Airbnb. It does not bounce off 129 as I took it out, but it did bounce off of 128.50. Still sliding to the downside here with a 128 low. I'm probably going to continue to scalp this trade, so get the rest out in front of the low of the day instead of trying to hold through for the home run trade. It does feel a little bit skittish here, trying to go any lower than this. Socket, on the other hand, did break $3. Talked about waiting for this one to make that break before going short, but now it's going sideways at this price. So I kind of like the ability to consolidate and then add into the position here if I can. If it does bounce up to like the 315 range, that's the last price at which I would be an adder. 325, I think if it breaks, got to walk away from Socket, at least in the short term, guys. We didn't talk about at least I don't think we talked about Snowflake while I was resetting things there. But another day and another drop in Snow. This one, a $20 move to the downside. Now, I'm still sort of holding out for about this 300 level at some point. I think that'll be a good place to pick it up. But as a day trade, this 325 is coming rather quickly. That's where I'd like to see if we can find some support in Snowflake. It looks like a good spot to me. It's trying to base out here at 335, but 325 is where I'd be trying to buy the bounce on Snow.
Okay, yeah, I'm not looking too much at Snowflake myself. Neil's good, has good trades on that recently. Okay, look, we tried it again here at this view up. I'm still waiting for 40.50 to come, but just getting a little bit of FOMO there, thinking we didn't want to miss the ride on this view up break. But look, it's just riding right back down, so we will get some out here if it does come down to these levels again. So right now, not really making us too happy here, Neo, but we're trying it, and we're going to give it a go here downside, 39.70, 75. Looks like it's going to crack, and we'll be out of this one. But Neo, man, we've been trying to catch the long, and it's just been missing. Here it goes, going to crack through 80. The day of the electric vehicle may soon be over, guys. Neo just crashing back down, and we get out on that break. So another miss here on NIO, guys. What's up, Brent?
It's been quite a ramp up for this one. INSG, if you remember from last week in Seago, they talked about, first of all, a deal with T-Mobile in the U.S., and then the day after that, they were talking about a new deal, 5G deal with a company in Japan to bring 5G technology to Japan. Now this now this morning it's Vodafone signing a deal with Inseego for 5G technology in Europe. So they've been busy. Quite a move here. $11 up to 17 early on this morning, guys.
Yeah, and quite a move finally to the downside on TLGT. You're going to see I got some out as it broke VWAP here, that 114, 113, my two entry prices. But a bit of a buyer, a bit of a bid that I covered some in front of 200,000 shares isn't a lot. 40 million it's already done, well on its way to probably a couple $100 million on the day. If it gets down to $1, I do want to make sure I have at least half of it out on the way down there, and then see if I can hold the other half to that 93. That was always going to be that target. If it breaks 93, I think we have another short, but this was a hard buy off of 84 in the pre-market. Someone picking some shares up. Interesting to see if somebody defends a higher price than that. But for now, we'll go Mortal Kombat on this one because it's been near perfect. I want to quickly jump you guys back over to MindMed just because bounce off VWAP here. Now, my last out, I was trying to hold this last little bit through the top end break, 587, maybe $6. I just missed a shot to buy on the dip at VWAP. So this one continues to look rather strong to the upside. And Airbnb about 50 cents in the money, 30 cents now. Looks like it cannot break that 129 definitively just yet.
I'm having the same kind of problems here with some of these stocks randomly here, not wanting to go, like Peloton not wanting to go. So 122 and change, it looks like it's going to fade back in. We still have that 118 mark listed and looking at that as an out, but I don't know, doesn't want to go. So that's Peloton right here. CCL, we did talk about that early as well. And welcome to the show. Anybody that's with us, welcome. Hit that like button. Make sure you get that going as well. 22.31, 22.45. Yeah, CCL just choppy. It goes up to 23, but it's not doing anything, so we got to find something else. Let's check out on one of my favorites, Mr. Softy. Let's go back to that name and have a quick look here on that as I just try to get out. 214, okay. A nice little high move here for Softy today. Maybe we have something. This is still a 1-minute chart. 214.80, not really doing anything on a daily chart for Softy. Still caught, man. It's still caught in this range. This is why we don't trade this yet. We have to wait for it to start moving a bit, but I do like Microsoft. Let's get another name from Brendan, though.
Talked about the rather insignificant downgrade on this one this morning, guys. Disney still negative, but just popped back above 174 there. Volume came in as we broke through 174, so trying to hold, which was support back on Friday for Disney.
And that 120 just went in a big way on AI. I said I only wanted to go long this stock, and this is what happens when you don't go long. When you don't go short, reverse short through 120. It was a good scalp a couple times, took $1, took $2, and then got basically out flat here at that 120 mark. It just bounced off 115. And if you're following along, we start the show a little bit earlier so that we can get everything that we're looking at to you guys and maybe watch some more symbols and talk about the levels that we like. But I liked 115 last week. I'm going to like it today, picking some shares up just in front of that 115, which held to the penny. But it hasn't gone anywhere upside yet, so it's not exactly a winner until it bounces. But for now, AI has held 115. I am long. I want to try to give it a little bit of room. If it breaks, maybe give it a quarter or so, maybe a little bit deeper than that. But I got 36 as an average price so far. I would have liked it much closer, of course, to 115 even, but I waited for it to bounce first before buying.
Tesla down to 613. We talked about that. Sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news, and on the Tesla trade. Okay, I do like this one though. I do like Virgin Galactic. I still think it's overdone. This is my #1 stock today, net-wise. So 27.60 right here. We did take this long off the open. We thought that was overdone there when there was some chaos off the open. So we did pick that up and then did run that about $1.30 out up there. So that was a good one. And then got more long, 27.60. I want to do it again. So we're going to try that again here. 27.60. Trying to break that to the high side now on Virgin Galactic. So put some orders in. If you heard me hit the keys there, that's what we're doing. Getting some orders in here for Virgin Galactic. 27.60 on the break. NEO's not been great for us, 39.70. Let's stay away from this for a bit and just see what it does on the high side. Zoom, our friend, down today. Down 5% on COVID news, obviously. As the vaccines get rolled out, Zoom's going to get hit. Although I think that's a mistake. I think Zoom is worth buying on any weakness. I'm just not sure this is weak enough today. Down that 4 and a bit percentage. Got to go back to Airbnb at some point.
I'm going back to it right now, Sean. I just covered at 126.82. It just bounced off 126 even. But for me, if I can take this out and be late to the party and still get a $3 winner, why not? Look, this is the break that we talked about in the pre-market. 134.50 was the only thing that I liked on Airbnb to go short. I had a few issues this morning and so wasn't able to get that order in before it made that move. But we caught the 130 break at least on the way back up. So a nice range. It's like an $8 move off of the open. We're only able to capture 3 of it. But either way, let's see if 125 can hold here. And we'll see what happens with Airbnb if it can pick up some strength. Brennan?
More deal-making news this morning, guys. Pluralsight, PS is the ticker, being taken private by Vista Equity Partners, $3.5 billion deal. It's all cash as well, $20.26 for this one. PS up 6% on that. If you've seen that one, that is a buyout, guys.
And it's a chicken dinner winner right here for space as we go, guys. A nice little win from 27.60. Our best out there, 27.80. And we have half left on this name. So let's just keep on going here. See how high this one wants to fly. Space, nice out. See if we can break 28 again. We did have some problems up there. So we're fully aware of what space can do to the downside and to the upside. So we definitely get out of half. We got out of small there. And then that was a big one to get out some at 27. 27.80. So again, it's only going to be a 20-cent win, but here we go to the upside. We're going to hold the rest, see if we can't take out 28, and then keep on trucking long side there on space. So here it comes, 28, 29. Let's just keep this going. We're raining down some cash now, but I got to get some orders to make sure we get out of this one as space ripping to the high side right here. My number one stock today, guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with some Superman action. I'm basically going to be out of, not necessarily all done, but MindMed tests the high again. That it's 587. It's sort of a random price, but we got the dip at 520. Picked some more shares up at 528 on the way back up, guys. Just got all out near that high of day. I missed the bounce off VWAP, which was obviously fantastic. Look for a top end break, maybe even a $6 break, or a VWAP buy would be the next trade for me. It's just been such a high flyer. AI has not. We've continued to hold 115. It couldn't break 117. That's greed. I could have taken a $1.50 scalp on some of this, and I did not, which is ridiculous. And then it retested 15. But putting in a higher low so far, if I can take $1 to $1.25 on some of this position, I kind of. It'd be ridiculous not to, so I'm going to see if I can't get some out in front of that 117. And if it breaks, there we go. So we'll knock that one, line that one up and knock it out. AI, 120 bounce, gave you $1 or $2. It gave you more than that, but I was definitely greedy on the rest of that position. Didn't get out in front of 124. I'm trying not to do the same here off 115, but both those numbers look like they're fantastic little scalp day trades for us right now. I want 119s out on the rest, or 115 breaks, and we got to run to the exit.
Yep. I like that word, the run to the exit here. And here we go, guys. We just got a break above here, 28. And here we go. It's new animation time. We finally got the hot dog gun. So here it is. Spit those hot dogs out. I don't know if you like that or not, but there it is right there. As space, kaboom with the big winner. Hot dogs for everybody as we continue to go. Nice trade here. Took it so nice. We took it twice. 27.60. The double breaks, man. We very, very patient. Wait for it. Get some out now. And this is a nice little high side trade. Congratulations on that one. There we go, guys. Robbie, they like the hot dogs right there. Rolling on the floor laughing. Blah, 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 blah. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for that love on the hot dogs, because this is a hot dog one right now. This is a big-time win for me. 60 cents up on space. The whole range today is like 60 cents. So, well, I mean, it's not if you take the very bottom. But here it goes right now. Beautiful trade on space. Let's get some more out at the top and then hold the rest for another break. But hells to the ads. Backflip central there. Neil Nye hitting it off. There it is. A nice little out. Neil Nye hitting off pretty good today, if I may not say so.
That's a monster. That's an absolute. I love space. What I love about this is just lining up and knocking them dead. But I will say this, Sean, not to put you on the spot. You're going to have to do it again because I missed the hot dog. I was looking down. I didn't see it on my program monitor. So I'm the only person in this entire community that did not just see the hot dog gun, which I'm sure was fantastic because that's what Robbie does around here. I just want to go back to, if I can, Neo holds this 39.40 level. I was looking at 39.65 initially. That has broken and then sort of come back. But if it can hold, maybe base out here, there could be another long. I'm not jumping into it just yet. I'm going to stick with what we got. AI is about $1 in the money, but I'm looking for like a 118.50 to 119 bounce into that 120 mark. If it gets there, fantastic. MindMed is back down below 6 after just breaking. So crazy what that stock's doing today. Brendan, what's up?
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here, see how things are shaping up on a Monday. Nicely positive so far, top to bottom here on the board. You can see S&P full percent, the Dow just behind that, 0.8%. NASDAQ is leading once again, which is important if we are heading upside, 1.25% for both the composite and the 100. You can see the Russell there, 1.5% as well. Small caps having a nice day. Here in Toronto, the TSX 0.3%, down in Brazil about 0.05%, so basically flat. To start for the BOVESPA. A few things from the watch list, few great fade opportunities off the open worth noting here. This one, XPEV, we were talking about in the pre-market, higher. Any of these lows from the pre-market gave you a nice little washout down to where we were on Friday. So a little bit of weakness coming back in off of the open. BFT, another one. Big gap up this morning. 15 tried to hold there right before the open, wasn't successful. Down to 14.5 for BFT. And the last one I'll show you here, AAL. Did give you a nice test of 17.75. Didn't even get up there to 18, and we're down to 17.15. So a number of the ones that we saw in the pre-market showing strength and gapping higher coming back to the downside. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you there, Brendan. One name I have not covered probably enough here. I am in position on Socket. Now, it broke that 3. The reason why there's not too much need to go over it is it's just sliding to the downside. I did get one out at about 88 when it did break 90 originally. I think this one can get us back to like a 265, 270 area. 266 was Friday's close. Just got another leg out there at 86. So this one looks like it's just going to be one of those nice little retracement plays that does not give us too much trouble. If there's a volume spike, might have to move my stop in that case, but nothing just yet. TLGT, on the other hand, and I talked about it would break $1. I would definitely start getting some out in front of a 93 because I want it to be basically all flat of this 114 short. If it got to 93, well, that's why you take some out. Still have 40% of it, but it tested VWAP here, and I'll probably give one more shot if it breaks VWAP to the upside. I'd give it one more shot shorting in front of 125, but I'd want to price closer to there, not the 15, probably like 19 or 20 if I can get it again. AI, only $1 in the money off the 115, but I really think this one could go for us here. As long as 115 holds, I can't see any way that we're not testing 120 at some point today.
Yeah,
Again,
you know
I should say.
Yeah, let's check back in. Okay, so Peloton, we're still in Peloton. I know that one's just falling down. We'll wait to see. We're long 122. $1 out, fine for us. Okay, Space, still trying to go upside. We've already thrown out the hot dogs for all of you on that one. Another name to check out here quickly, Tesla's coming back. So that's one thing that I want to look at. We maybe should have buy the dip. I mean, we talk all the time about how strong Tesla is and getting your money into the best names. 612 there as a bottom, 620. I still don't mind the 620 take here. We could try it one more time, 620 and a quarter. We take that out, we're going to go long, but watch out. NASDAQ still already up this 1% here. So not sure how much more it wants to go, but I'm going to be long 620 and a quarter. If we take out that little wick, it'll be above VWAP there. And this one, we can sort of let it go back down to 618.50. So I think that's pretty well worth it to see if we do get a push back to 625. So that's a good name that we're going to be looking for right now. That's Tesla long through 620 and a quarter. NEO, we could check back on that name. We stepped out on that a little bit at 40.50. I'm going to cancel that now. It doesn't look like it wants to go upside. We'll just keep checking back in on NEO and try to find some levels. I actually don't mind this one. Right where VWAP is right now, $40.10. Yeah,
and here comes the test on AI. It's going to go down to that 115 mark. I mean, it's going to give me an opportunity to pick up a few more shares in front of 115, but it looks like it's going to go. My hands are off, so I want to make sure we can get out of it. There you go. Paid down. I got it at 114.50, so try to hit a home run on AI. Probably missed out on something here, guys. As much as we'll still be up on AI, 335 was, I said, day traded, picking up some snow off 335, but I wouldn't really like it until it makes another dip down. Missed a shot here, guys. It failed break through that price, right back up now to VWAP here. If it fails to break out, maybe you can pick something up on a pullback to like 36 or 37, but might have missed that opportunity to buy that dip just seconds ago on Snowflake. It's going to happen to you sometimes, guys. I do want to go over to, if I can, let's manually go to Lemonade here for you. I feel like we missed an opportunity, well, at least a few times when it comes to Lemonade. Today, we're right back in this 90 sort of 5 range after a failed break to what was resistance before. It has already been broken at 100. I'm looking for a 95 break up. It looks like we found a bit of a bottom here on Lemonade. I'm a believer. 95 is going to be more of a scalp trade for me. Certainly, I didn't think this would get to 100 off the open, so it was not remotely off my radar, but usually that would have been a nice little fade trade. But I'll look for a break to 96, maybe get you up to that open price of 97.40, like a $1.50 type scalp once we get there on Lemonade. But it's got to break VWAP first. Hasn't happened yet.
Okay, guys, we are now in to TSLA here. Tesla in at that 620 quarter break. Let's just wait to see now. I'm going to give it back to like 617, like about $3 or $4. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but again, I don't want to hold it in case this does come back down. So sometimes getting out, is the right play, but we're still waiting for 624. I think we can get upside here. So let's see if we get a $4 win on this one. Long Tesla right now and holding out for higher bids here to see if this can come through. Long at 6 620.25. So nice, I mean, whatever, it's 50 cents in the money now. But we're going to try to get a little more on that one. See if we get into this area, 624. Even these kind of tops, 624.60-ish. Let's watch out for the ES and the NASDAQ looking to go right now. So the order's at 624. There it is, a nice little dollar in the money, but hard to celebrate it on Tesla as we want a hell of a lot more than that. There goes Disney. We talked about, wrong way. Wrong way. We talked about why we like this one off the open. It does dip down to 170.20. I had no idea why this one was going downside, but we do have some targets here. I think if you could take out 175.79, we've already done that, then the upside right now would be this, 176.50. So we're getting very, very close. I think Disney's along through 176.50. Tesla right now, $2 in the money. Let's see how high we can fly with Tesla and take this out 624 if we're lucky enough. Give it to us, Bren.
Just checking on this one, guys. One from the cloud space, Domo Incorporated, cloud computing name. Big move here this morning, 49 up to 53. Yeah, 14%. There's a note from Wells Fargo on this one. Doesn't look like an upgrade, but a positive note there on Domo on the NASDAQ, guys.
Somebody has to around here. Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto. Why not, guys? Your name here, Sean, BFT. Pulling, look, it might pull back into this 14 range where there's a chance to load up, but I just quickly looked at the level 2. There's a bit of a buyer here at 14.50. It's not a tremendous amount of size, but it's an even dollar range. I mean, given that I like the bias and I was looking to buy a dip, might take a first crack at it if we can hold it here, but I'd love to see, you want to see it come on the bid, make sure that holds up, and then if it bounces off of that, maybe pick up like 51, 52, 53, whatever you can get. But I want to see it show its face on the bid here, and as long as it holds, I want to try a quick little long with a stop at that 50 price here, Sean.
Yeah, I'm going to try a quick little long here on Palantir too, if we can go. So Space right now, beautiful trade, guys, on Space. So bang on that one. Space back to the day's high. Here we have that one for you, Virgin Galactic. I'm debating right now getting some off. I mean, how many times have we touched upside right now on this stock? Like 5? Bang, 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 multiple times. Doesn't want to go above 28.80 here, guys. So let's watch out for that. Disney right now, instantly into the money a little bit there, up to 64, 65. So we're in at 51. Takes them out 70, 71. Okay, more hot dogs, I guess, but we still need Disney to go. Some out at 72. Let's just keep the party going as they're firing off there. We always like to show off our new animations. There it is, Neil. That's the hot dog gun. 176.80. 40 cents in the money right now for this one. The pins were lined up for Disney, and we hit a couple strikes right now.
That's what I love to see, and it's a fantastic looking. So I'll say right now, Robbie, you did a great job. BFT, like anytime I'm taking something off of an even level like that, I'm gonna scalp a good portion of it if I can. So on the way up to like a 14.75, I'd like to take half of it out and then rinse and repeat if it can hold off that level. The rest we can hold to like 15 or maybe VWAP or something along those lines. But certainly it was just the size and the even dollar that attracted me to this name. So I'm gonna make sure I get some profit on BFT on the way up. I do want to quickly jump back over to MindMed. Maybe this is the bad out. We'll see what happens. I didn't take the 6 even break. There's been no pullback into VWAP. There was one shot you could have had at like 950. That is come and gone. I'll look at this one back at about a 570. There was some consolidation here before. If it does it again, I'll try to jump into a scalp long. 6.5 million shares in volume means you want to try to be active if you can, and I'm not even sure I've been active enough. I do some market making on the side. You might see me pop into that PS from time to time. It's a cash deal. I'll be essentially just getting out for some spread. But there goes BFT to 14.70. Whoops.
Yep.
Of course, I just keystroke there and punched out of the entire thing, and you saw there. Yeah, it's a different keyboard. I had to swap them off. There's a slight difference in it. They're about the same, but a bit of a keystroke error for a 20-cent win. I guess I shouldn't be too mad about it.
No, you can get back in, but that's good out there for sure. I mean, let's see if we can get back in. But look at this,
Probably
guys.
not.
Disney, I mean, slaying dragons left, right, and center right here with Disney. We talked about that long, and I hope you had this with us, man. 176.50. Here's 50 cents right now for you on Disney in a matter of 3 minutes. So bang, to the upside goes Diz right now, and still rocking and rolling, man. I have an out at 177.20, debating just taking some out right here. This was a huge move upside for DIS, but let's just see if it keeps on going. Why not? The strong just keep on getting stronger. Come on, 177.20. I see you. Let's go. We're sitting right there just ahead of 177.20. 625, and there it is, man. Hot dogs for everybody. Old school hot dog right there. As you guys can get it, a nice little 70-cent win for Disney, as you can see that one blowing to the upside, guys. Palantir as well. Trying to go here, Palantir. Let's see. We did talk about getting long. Let's get some out if we can at 90. There it is, a nice little out there. Breaking through VWAP of 83. We're long at 85, so a 6-cent win here on PLTR. Just took some out at 91 or 90 there. Let's just wait to see how high this one can fly. I don't know, man. It's been a little weak. We'll find out some outs here on Palantir. But right now, let's see if it can hold out some hope for some upside on PLTR. Disney, wow.
And yeah, gotta love Disney. I'm always gonna be happy about that one. But not like a gift horse in the mouth. I mean, it actually ends up being not a bad out because BFT on the first bounce, 1477, so that quarter mark, 3/4 mark, I should say, did hold up. I'm not getting in right away. Obviously, accidentally getting out of the bulk of it when I was trying to hold a third of the trade through 15. But if it breaks this level here, like the 75 to 80 range, certainly that's one way to get back in. I'd prefer to be buying a dip in front of that 1450, which showed that support. That was the entire reason for being in the trade. So it might go small here through like a 1480 break, see if it gets to VWAP. Otherwise, I would really prefer to load up in front of 1450. That's the real level, Brendan.
There was news on this one back on Friday. EVLO, Evelo Biosciences, they're focused in the cancer space as well. They announced back on Friday that their lead oncology treatment showed some promising in a recent trial. There was also a positive note from Jefferies analysts this morning, but this one just resumed. You can see it was halted right off the bat and then resumed quite a bit later. So 10.50 up to $11. We're kind of chopping around in that range right now. 42% though for EVLO.
Okay, and we have Tesla here going, guys. A nice little trade here. Yeah, we are just like riding and loving what's happening right now on this name. I'm debating getting some off right here as it just stops at 623. So we're long at 620. So it could be 250 here for us on Tesla. I think that's probably prudent to get some out pretty soon. Let's see what it does here, breaking through 623. There it is. We're in the 40s now. Get us, get us, get us. Boom, there it is, guys. Yes, sir. The roller coaster continues on Tesla. Your boy just hits it there. Long 620, out 623 and change, up to 624. Let's just keep on going, guys. Keep the party going on this side. 623.50. Keep run. Run as fast and far as you can, young man. Especially Palantir as well. Beautiful out there, just ahead of 28. We're rocking and rolling on that one. And Disney with a little bit of a pullback. But look at space, guys. You want hot dogs? This one's going out again to everybody. 28.90 right now on this. Look at this. Space just destroyed it on back-to-back jacks like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Brendan.
Another one here, guys. DoorDash still kind of falling to the downside, but trying to bounce. There was a story that came out. This was right at 10 or 10:06, you can see. Teaming up with Payfare to partner to launch a Dasher Direct Visa card and mobile payment app, guys.
And why not go with, I'll go with the cheap hot dog, the old school, because Sean knocking out of the park, so I don't want to steal the thunder too much. But BFT, I talked about getting back in at that 80. Of course, the 1450 buy was good. 1480 gives you a break up towards this 15 even. So I just took some out there, 95, 96. That's going to be the scalping for the 15. If we can break VWAP, I'm holding on to make this test of the it's not the opening range high. I mean, technically 1540 was, but pre-market as well, just a couple of pennies higher than that. I would get the rest out in front of that. Look for a bounce to VWAP at 15 to get back in, or a break of 1550 on BFT. So party not necessarily over there. We'll continue that one, scalping it all the way to glory. 15 does loom large on BFT, and Brennan's over at the desk with me.
Just saw a note on Shopify, guys. It came out right at the open there. You can see a big spike to the downside to 1040 for Shopify. Apparently, Amazon is working on a direct competitor for Shopify. Anytime we've seen in the past that Amazon word associated with a stock, there's always a move involved, guys.
Yeah, see ya. I mean, I like Shopify. Obviously, Canadian company. We'll continue to support Shopify. Disney, we just take that out there as we lose on our last 20%. But Disney positive stock. You guys have seen me run that one through. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, check out Tesla right now off a nice little $4 win. We're still long 620. One of my favorite logos that we have is this one. Bang it off right there for Tesla. Yes, sir. A nice little win. Upside, man. We got out some at 623.50 there, 623.41. 1, I believe it was. That just rips to 625. Our best out today, the day's high. I kind of feel not bad about it because it was good, but look at that out. Early, perfect out there on Tesla. What's up, B?
All-time highs here for Twilio today, 2.4%, guys. 350 just coming into play here for Twilio. Cohen and company with an upgrade on that one today.
Man, Twilio, another one of my calls, been a good one, but that's from the IPO, so that's definitely overextended Twilio. But hey, we'll take the upgrades.
Watch out for Lemonade here. I wanted a 95, a potential break if it could hold above that, but getting a chance to buy it off at the low of the day, that'll have to work as well. 92.30, 33 technically is low. I just got some on consolidation here, 93 and a quarter. I'll definitely scalp some out in front of VWAP and then hold for a break of that 95 area. BFT coming back to that 1475 mark, so I will take a bit of a reload here. I like that 1450 as well, so I would definitely leave it to dig in at that price if I can. I'm going to update you guys on TLGT. You'll see that one on the bottom. Still have just the original entries here at 14 and 13. It did retest. I talked about waiting for a price a little bit closer to that $1.20. It never went far enough for me to get it, but we're back down to $1. It's that 10% range, but also it's a psychological level. It could not get past 98, so I will take some more shares off in front of this. I do not want this to run against me and have a winner turn into a loser. It's been a good trade so far this morning. You don't want to sort of spoil the party by not taking profit when there's obvious support just above that psychological dollar level on TLGT. It's been a good one so far. Let's continue that party. Lemonade, basically flat for now, but like I said, I'll get some out in front of VWAP.
Okay, we're going to try. I mean, I feel shitty because we talked about taking Neo, and for some reason, like, I'm just too enamored with taking everything else. But there we go. We're finally into Neo on a 40-50 break. Should have had it a lot earlier. We're going to have to hold that one and wait to see what it does to the upside. But look at Palantir, guys. Back to 05. So hells to the it's dancing gorilla time on Palantir. We talked about taking that one off the break. VWAP, we did it. We took it against ourselves. Everybody saw that trade. Now we're back upside on this one. So let's go, go, go. Neo right now, we're long and we're not really loving life on this one either. We can wait here. We're long at, what are we long at here? 49s. So let's put some orders to the high side if we can to get out some of this upside, actually, I guess, at 56 or so is where we just topped out. Yeah, I don't know, man. This Neo's been a thorn in my side, needless to say, as it just keeps on making those moves. And I haven't been a part of it today. We're negative on Neo today, but we'll see about making some back here. As actually I'm at 58, right? 48 right now. 50, there it is, 58, nice little win. Long 50s on Neo. Let's see if we can't make something happen.
Absolutely, and I don't know if we're going to be going to the small cap recap in just a few seconds here, but just noting, I missed the halt on Veru, V-E-R-U, and it's consolidating right around that halt price at 10. If it gets below and holds, and then maybe it's a breakdown through VWAP with a 10 out. Not there yet, but it's coming pretty close. Speaking of small caps, let's go to Brennan at the big screen for small cap recap.
Hi guys, yeah, let's talk about a few names that were active in the pre-market this morning in small cap world. We mentioned this one, SYBX, 17% still. However, was obviously weak. That was the key in the pre-market. Obviously weak, below $4 here. Came all the way into 330, had a little bit of a bounce. So just use that 330 level as a bit of a level to build a short once we broke below it and kind of consolidated underneath it all the way down to 250 now on SYBX. Still a long way to go from where we were on Friday as well. I went back to the well on this one again. If you remember back on Friday, this thing just absolutely fell apart into the close. SLS. We traded this a couple days last week on news, but very, very weak into the close. Open below that support of 750. We're still kind of grinding to the downside. Decent volume on that one again today for SLS. And this one, EVLO, I just had a look at a higher time frame. That 1150 is actually a decent level if we get anywhere close to that again. Otherwise, want to see that one break down, get into this gap from the halt this morning on EVLO. Guys.
And I just talked about that VERU, and maybe if it got below that VWAP and then using 10 as an out, the halt price still trending a little bit higher here. But after the reopen, I should say, it did stall at 1085. I don't like usually shorting off a level like that because you still have that high of day. The 1050, sort of 1150 looming, but it's starting to roll over here, so I'll go a little bit of a small look in front of this price if I can quickly get it here, but I don't want to chase it too far down. I'm still going to look at a 980 break with a 10 stop. But either way, we'll see if I can't get into some shares here, but might have just missed the party a little bit, but my med just pulled back. and bounced off VWAP. I picked some up. I bounced off 70s there, guys, but I picked some up on the north side of 80 at 83. See if I can't run that to that 6 even level, which was a bit of resistance so far. It looks like it's going to test it another time, though.
Yeah, I tried to get NEO down here in the 30s, and I was bidding instead of marketing this up, so I should have done that and got longer there. But right now we are waiting to see what this does to the downside now, and that is NEO. Just a nice little out there. Keep going to the high side. If we can keep getting this out, that'd be great. 67 would be a nice one. We are still long, guys, on NEO, as you can see here. 50, what is my price? 49s. So a good little move now on NEO, making some of that money back. Thank God for that one. Tesla, boom, there it is. We get that out at 625. So we turned bullish on this name, Tesla, in here and out, in again at 620, out again like we saw it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, too many times up here at 625. So a nice little big out there. Nice win for us on Tesla. $5, not too bad. I think that's definitely worth a floss. I just remembered I don't have my aqua, so we're gonna go get the water and we'll be right back. There goes Tesla, Brendan. Take it away, but that's a $6 winner.
Yeah, nice move for Tesla, back higher once again. Amarin here as well. AMRN just popping up 6.5%, almost 7%, got to 550 there for Amarin. They're talking about a test that they did with their heart drug. So they have a heart medication that they actually put into people with COVID-19, and those test results came back positive. So Amarin, guys, popping up.
AMRN, a good look. And similar play here that we did the first time we broke through 1480 on BFT. 75 is where I got it the last time. Maybe a better price by a couple of pennies, but I'm going to get some out in front of 15 even. It couldn't break through the first time. If it does the second time, I will hold some. But it's been a good one, and I like because Arun's with us always in spirit and always trading over in the futures. If you haven't rolled your contract over, trade that H21 contract. But either way, we'll pew and pick our spots. Only 2 levels I like here. It's going to be 1450 and then that 1475 mark. We break VWAP. I want to get some out at 1540 or in front of 1540 if we can. Lemonade, on the other hand, this one is looking like it wants to retest that low. I did want to see if it could break out. Couldn't quite hold that 95 bid. Thing with Lemonade, the spread does tend to open up, and it's about to crack 1 million shares in volume. It's not always the most liquid name, so you do want to make sure it holds a bid before you take a breakout trade. Now, buying it on the dip is a little bit different because I'm just going to use that the low of the day as support. Give it a few extra cents, I think. It's a 92.30 low, but obviously 92 and a quarter is going to make more sense for me anyways. That's what I will do with risk. TLGT, I should say, has broken back below $1. I did get some out again at 98, and again it bounces off this price. So for now, it's still going to be support. I do still have a little bit of this position left. It's not much. It's 15%, and the rest I will get out in front of 93. If 93 goes, TLGT, a place to add to the position to the short, not necessarily take more off, guys. It's been a good one so far, but you can't ignore a pattern like this. Basically, where I'm getting in the bottom, it's now done that range twice. If it holds the bottom at some point, you got to think it might take the top off on me, and that's why I'm taking profits all the way.
Tesla, yeah, I want to make me throw up, that's for sure. Tesla now 627, but that's okay. Pigs get slaughtered. We talk about that all the time. What up to Hydration Nation? Let's go. Let's keep it going. I've been bad with it today. I see you, Valeria. So nice there. Get that going. When you talk as much as we do, obviously good to be hydrated, and hydrated whether or not you're talking or not. Get your hydration, guys. Yeah, things still making moves at the downside here, and the market is going upside. So that's why I'm a little bit not concerned, but wondering why we can't get out of NEO. So let's just a little bit nervous here. Not that we're nervous. We're never nervous too much about our positions, but it is definitely something to keep an eye out for. As you know, if stocks aren't following the market, you got to think about sometimes what the story is behind them. And obviously today, NEO with the ADS offering, we saw the price. If you can get that price, was it 39 even or 39.20? There was some price there. Doesn't really matter. We're well above that, but look at it fading back down. So just watch out here. We're going to try it, and if it breaks us, we'll get out here before 40. But watch out for NEO here on a little bit of a move to the north side. We're waiting for a move to the north side, but it's coming down. Good little profit take. We're out of half, but we are expecting bigger from this thing. So a little strange we're not going a little higher. Give it to us, Bren.
39 even on the nose for that offering for NEO. I wanted to show you this one as well. Ruby, R-U-B-Y on the NASDAQ going nuts right now. It's been halted a couple of times. Above $9, trying to get through 10 here on volume. Just going to check on R-U-B-Y, guys.
Oh, for a second I thought you said Rudy, and I was about to make a horrible
Rudy, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was about to do something along those lines, but I can't because it's Ruby. Why not? Either way. Socket here, I just threw into the chat, making a bit of a run, or at least a bounce on me off this 285. It started to roll over. I still like this below 330, so I jumped into some more shares when it did that. I never really got the full position because I, of course, did miss the consolidation and then the push up at the open, and then only got that 3 even break. Still like it, so we're going to stick with it. It will minimize my imbalance locator for you guys there. I don't know why that was showing. But the other name that I want to sort of go back to is, I'll have to manually put this one in, is going to be MindMed. It did do that bounce off of VWAP, which I was anticipating. Now, I didn't get it on the way down. I did catch it on the way up. I'm gonna probably take this off in front of the high of the day like we did on the first long, and then still look for only dip buys. I'm not going to do breakout trades because, you know, I just kind of feel like the way it's trading, if you look at a level 2, it gets a little bit thin on the break, so buying the dip feels like the better play here. Maybe when I get some size. I don't know why it's showing Socket there. Let me go MindMed for you if you can maybe see the level 2. I had some issues logging back in, and some of my linking is not necessarily working when I change one thing, make sure it all goes. But the bid does stack up a few times here, like it did at 70 and it did at 80. But when it breaks out, I don't like the liquidity, so I'm going to be buying dips in front of size and support levels like VWAP, as opposed to taking what would seem like an obvious breakout at 605. You see a double top like that, but I prefer buying the dip in front of VWAP if I can.
Okay, yes. Still waiting for NEO to do something, man. We did pick some up on the low side here. I thought it was pretty low, 25. It goes back to like 35, but I mean, our average price right now on NEO is 37. Looks like we may take it won't be a bath, but we'll take a hit on it if we get back down below this VWAP. I don't know, guys. NEO's been strong. We've seen it just rip faces off here. And I just thought that, you know, maybe here it tried and failed. That's why this was a much better long and why I was really upset, not upset, but this was the trade to be had, not the one that I have now, was this break, $40.20, because it comes all the way back down. There's some garbage down here. Not that it's garbage. I mean, this is 50 cents and it's back and forth. It's not like, you know, a break like this where it comes all the way back. But then, you know, once it sort of says, you know what, we're done with this, we can start to go back to the upside. I think that this 40.20 was decent there. Should have had that. And then when you're up to 40.60 like we went, you could take off some of that profit, right? So right now our average price is 40.37 off of a nice average in. I will not be averaging in again. If you watch me trade, which hopefully a lot of you have, you know I don't average in much. We try to take 1 or 2 fills and then work with those. So right now I'm actually sitting right here at 43 to see if we can't get out some for 5 cents. You know we have a double the position. So if we could take small winners, we'll sure do that. What's up, Bren?
Renewable energy, the actual stock, but the group itself trying to catch a bit of a bid here. This one, Regi, R-E-G-I, up 8% today. Bit of a technical break above 64 there. Renewable energy is the name of the company, guys. Moving higher on volume as well.
I'm glad you clarified that because for a second I'm like, what? The space? That's why we have to let you guys know what's happening here. But Viru, thank you very much, Rock Doc. Because a lot of names to cover here. There was the break on Viru, but you see how quickly, and you get a 1-minute candle here like this, it's going to be hard to get that break because if you have a stop order through like a 980 and this move starts at a 10 break, it's going to be hard to catch that one. But there is some consolidation off of that level, maybe using like a 950 to 960, which is what I'm going to do here. It's not the trade I intended, so I have to give it a bit of a tighter stop to 965, but it's not a horrible risk to reward. If it gives me like 25 cents worth of risk, and then we can test back to this 860 low, I do like that shot. But there was almost no chance to get that 980 break. If I was looking at 10, it would have been perfectly fine, but that wasn't the level I was watching. It was, in fact, 980. I just got some at 40, so like I said, risk 25 cents plus slippage, see if it can't crack down towards first 9 even, and then hopefully that 860 level on Viru.
Okay, we just got some out at 48. Yeah, good talk there. The MindMed trade was amazing this morning, and we should have done that again myself. Which number is it? Is it 1 or 2 for Mr. O'Leary and Ron? So coming up too, guys, coming up very, very soon. In less than 45 minutes at 11:15, you're going to have Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, and J.R. Ron. What a great combination these two have been for MindMed shareholders, as we'll talk all about that. Neil's been looking at that today, so hopefully you have a good idea of what that's been doing. We had them on the show earlier. We talked all about watches with Kevin, and then we talked about MindMed, and that was back like at 30, 40 cents, Neil. You know what it's at right now, $4 or $5, depending on the market that you're looking at. Neo's spitting, man. We just got some out at 50. So now this is not even a loser. We're long at 40.25. Neo's still making some money for us. What's up, B?
This Luminar, guys, another day, another move to the downside. It tried to bounce this morning. You can see we were positive initially, but straight southbound again today. 30.5 up here. We're down to 26 bucks, 4.25% for Luminar. That VLDR, the other one, nowhere near as weak once again today, guys.
Lasers. Look, I have to call it laser because it's just too much fun with the Austin Powers action for you there. BFT did just break 15. It's still trying to crank above VWAP here, and I'm still holding a little bit of this, the 1450 long, the dip into 75s. I've thrown my stop now to that 75 level, so no longer giving this trade all the way to 1450, low a day. Like I said earlier, 1530 to 1540 is going to be the target on the rest of this, so if I can get the last bit out for like a 60-cent win, be perfectly happy with that if I can get it. I can tell you that this Veru, I don't know. We'll see what I like to call it here. How many times I'll bungle that name. It's trying to roll over here, and I will take some out in front of 9 even, and then the rest I want to hold for an 860 level, which we were talking about earlier. It's not necessarily the best trade in the world. You want to catch this tighter to VWAP, which is why I'm going to have to give it to that 965. If it makes a test higher and fails at 10 even, I would probably take a shot shorting it again. But post-halt is when I like to catch these things, and this one gave you already one halt trade and then a reopen. So I think it's maybe calming itself down a little bit, usually a good time to jump into the short, which I have. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
One that had positive news back on Friday here. We'll show you that real quick. REPH. You can see late in the day on Friday, this thing popped up and ran up through to $3. Yeah, we're at 4 now. So another nice move for REPH, which is Recro Pharma Incorporated. So a little one, but another one showing a lot of strength so far today. Valeria's watching what is going on over in Europe. About an hour left. What's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are trading higher as the European Union and Britain decided to extend Brexit negotiation. HelloFresh trading in Germany is slightly up after JP Morgan upgraded the stock from underweight to neutral. Back to you.
Yeah, one of those stay-at-home names. We saw it moving around last week, in fact, as well. HelloFresh, guys.
Hello, Fresh. How are you doing? I'm not doing too bad. My name is Sean Cantina, and you are watching tradertv.live, guys. $40.50. We just got some out there of Neo. Oh, yeah. Oops. Oh, shoot. We got to get out of this one. Tesla. Look where Tesla's at, guys. Huge move to the upside there on Tesla. We accidentally had a short offer up there at 60.30. Probably got triggered in by, actually it was not. It got triggered in by this one. Look at this move on Tesla. We just tweeted it out. We had a 620 break, and yeah, we're cooking up those profits, guys. 620 long. Out 623.30, out 625, and then a little short there. Accidentally took 80 cents on that short, but didn't mean to do that. But there it is, a nice little move to the upside. We dropped it off, but I hope you didn't. That was a big trade there for Tesla, making moves to the high side. Look, we're basically at our highest spot. The only thing we're waiting for is this stupid Peloton that we got out of a third there. Now we're holding a third. This one's going to be a negative stock for us, joining Marvell today, and that's it, man. Oh, Palantir. Palantir we're slightly negative on, and Neo still position pending, but we will be red on Neo as well. So I guess there's a few red names here today, but I do like Palantir again. If we can get that blow off the top, we'll do that. We did hold about 30 or 40% and got wicked out there. So that's why we're slightly red on Palantir, but I think there's more to come on this thing. Not I think, I know there's more to come on Palantir.
Absolutely, and we talk about it all the time. If you get out accidentally, just jump right back in. So you're going to see VERU. This exit right here, like 940, basically the exact price that I was in. A bit of a dark pool wick that I could have structured my orders to look at level 2, but I have it off of the time and sales there, so it does trigger me out. All that said, I've sort of changed which stop I'm going to use, so no more dark pool wicks will get me out, and I'm right back in it, literally the same price, 940. So had it gone down on me, I wouldn't have chased it, phrasing. I wouldn't have chased it very far, but it looks like we're sliding back in. 9 even does remain the first target for me there on this name. Lemonade is a cool, refreshing drink, but it is testing the low once again, guys. It did bounce off 92, and I picked some up right off the 92 even. There isn't a heck of, like I said, there's just not a heck of a lot of size, so wasn't much liquidity when it got to that 30 mark, but there was certainly some liquidity at 92 even, so now I'm using that as the out. That's the tricky thing about Lemonade is the volume isn't always the best, the liquidity isn't always the best either, and you do not want to get wicked out of a move. Sometimes you have to give it a little bit more space. At current time, it's really only risking about $1, I think, plus slippage, and I still like it to get back up to that 95 and hopefully break out through there. So the dip buy is on in that particular name. BFT running into some resistance at that 15, and VWAP one more time. I did move my stop here, so if it gets me out at 75, I'll be looking to get back in off 14.50 if it makes that bottom again. If that breaks, we're looking at 14 as a dip buy as well. I'm not saying I'm not shorting this one today, but have not had any ideas for the short trade in this name. I suppose if 14 broke, that might be a different story, but I don't see that happening.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just watching Space. I'm watching Peloton. Looks like it may want to break. We talked about that as well. And then Neo, we're still giving it back down to VWAP. It didn't break it. It's like 405 or so. We'll look to get into that one. I'm debating averaging into Neo here again because this time it worked like a charm and we brought Neo back from dead there. So that was a great average in now. So I'm wondering if we have another opportunity right here, right around that VWAP. But I think we can hold this for high side. So let's just wait to see if this can get back up, and then I don't know, it just keeps resisting up here. So I think an average in, I probably just wind up getting caught for the long side on that. So Virgin Galactic's been my #1 stock today. I hope you've been doing it with me to the long side. Only 2 longs, bang, bang, both huge, up to 28.70. Not really sure why. Let's go to a 3-minute chart. Like, why does that keep on stopping? They're mid-28s, like, I don't know, nothing in the last couple days, but these wicks down here, those are dark pool prints. Not too worried about that. This dark pool, of course, goes to 28.75. I'm not worried about that either. I still think Space has more room to run. A little surprisingly there. And talking about going upside, we could have just averaged into Neo and we didn't. And there's a nice little pop-up. Give it to us, Bren.
A little bit of space coming today from the semiconductor group, guys. We're just having a look at AMD here, up 1%, but coming back downside. I want to show you this one. Atom, ATOM, there we go. Just straight higher yet, 22%. This is the all-time highs for Atom, one of the smaller ones in the semiconductor group, but definitely leading today, guys.
Nice little move there. And if we come out of Brennan to some winning trades, we're supposed to hit this. Yeehaw! Ride 'em, Cowboy, which we're doing on TLGT. It's now holding below $1. This is definitely a positive sign. I'm going to be all out. I have one last leg that we can get out of this trade here, the last 10%, in front of 93. If it breaks 93, I'm going to be jumping into more short. If it pulls back and fails at 105, which is VWAP, I'm going to be shorting at that price as well. It's 3 different shots at this trade. One in the pre-market that was good. I did take this back in front of 9 o'clock, and then we got stopped out when it made a run to $1, and then we waited. And this is look, probably at least half a dozen times it happened to me live on the show. We're right at 9:30 or into 9:30 at the open. I'm shorting into a move right when it makes a push here instead of on the way back down. I've hopefully exercised that demon, and I'm not going to do that again because it's usually a losing proposition. But if 93 breaks, guys, I'm going to be jumping all over TLGT to get back into another short position. This one working out rather nicely.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying. I mean, I'm watching Neo here run upside. We just got some more out at 40. We're going to wait to see if there's anything else coming through. Look at Tesla. Wow, to say the least here, guys. We had some big trades. Watch that wire. We had some big trades happening on Tesla. It's actually my #2 stock here today next to Virgin Galactic. So there's that. 633, damn it. We should still have this long from 620, but we do not. So let's check in something else. Let's check out XPEV. Here's a name that, again, if we're going to look at electric vehicles, let's just see what this is doing here. XPEV still that 3.6%. Look, part of Tesla's move up, guys, is obviously now up 3.5%. We do have the inclusion in the S&P 500 coming on Friday. So Brendan and I talked about this, I think it was last Friday, a couple days ago, about buying weekly options. That's probably what's going to happen to Tesla over the next couple days. And when people buy options, the underwriters have to cover by calling the stock. So they have to buy the stock to hold out for some of those call options. So that's probably, again, today, what may be happening. And watch out, man, 636. The good thing about it, Neil, is that we gave this, like we called out the 625 level early to everybody. So hopefully you still have that on board, and we'll watch that rock and roll. Check out GE. That's another name that I'm long 1050 on. That's not really doing too much. Boeing, we've given to our viewers at 217. That's kind of holding out as well. But right now, space, my number one stock, back to the upside. Don't really have too many outs other than this high, 28.75. If we can get that, we'll take it out. So I got an order now for 28.75. We can't hold things forever, or can we? Let's go over to Brendan at Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what is leading the way so far today. We are higher nicely, in fact, almost a full percent, 0.9% to the upside. It's coming from a few different areas. I'll start down here with the tech group. We just talked about a few of the semiconductors. You can see basically the entire group down here is in positive territory. There are 1 and 2 basically flat, but semiconductors and then the hardware equipment makers all in positive territory as well. So a nice day for tech stocks. This BELFB on the NASDAQ is, they partnered up with Johnson & Johnson, or expanded an agreement with Johnson & Johnson. So a 15% move for them. They're a electronic component maker. Healthcare stocks also nicely higher. Pharmaceuticals leading the way. There's the equipment makers also in positive territory. ING, CUTR, and TRHC all 5+% to the upside. So healthcare stocks also in positive territory, along with the tech group. The little real estate group also doing quite nicely so far today. Some negativity coming from consumer discretionary, more specifically some of these retailers. Michael's up here. There's GME as well, GameStop. It's been pretty negative over the past couple of weeks, continuing 6%. There's Fossil, TUP as well, 4.25% in negative territory. LQDT, CATO, though, helping to offset. There's this entire group, which is mainly the online version of retailers, in positive territory, helping to offset some of the automotive makers as well. CPS there, the parts maker, to the downside today, 5.8%. Financials as well, trying to help to the upside. The entire insurance group, pretty much, there's one there in negative territory, everything else positive, and the individual banks. So a bit of a mix showing, but overall the market nicely higher, still 0.9%. Guys, back over to you.
I see some love here for Grow Generation brands. Let's check out what that is, GRWG. You guys know that we've loved that one from the marijuana days back when we heard the election coming through. So good little call there. Thanks for bringing that up, whoever did there on the chat. Yes, we will be covering MindMed soon. Neil's been trading that one. He can probably talk a little bit better about how that's been going today. But here's Grow Generation brands, man. What a big pop off. If you don't want some of the marijuana plays, this is a good one just because it's not anything to do with, I mean, it is to do with marijuana and cannabis, but, you know, they do have the hydroponics. Mark Roberts talked about HYFM as well. And then there's Scott's Miracle Grow. So if you don't like the growers, get the pieces that help everyone grow. I know that was a big boost here in Canada as well, when apparently I think you can grow, I don't know what it is, 3, 4, 5 plants per household or something like that. So people involved in that definitely need some products. So I do like GRWG as opposed to, like you can see this up 3%, as opposed to something that's a little more risky, like an Aurora or a Tilray or something like that. If we can get that chart going, I mean, one is up 4%, one is down. So that's just the opinion there. And look at Neo, man, back from the dead. And hells yeah, we did it, guys. So Neo getting us all Superman feels right now. Long. It's always nice when it's breaking day highs and you've got the long.
Yes, the Superman feel. You mentioned MindMed there, and I do want to talk about it. It's still, I want to show you the 15-minute chart just so you can see what's been going on the last couple of weeks. I mean, obviously this is a fantastic run off of the open. I mean, gapping up after, you know, a $1.40, $1.50 move, depending on where you look at it, top to bottom, on Friday. It then gave you a chance when it slipped all the way back into, you know, previous high, 498, right up to that $5 mark, guys. It came down to that price, picked them up on the way back up. Now, 605 current high. I'm not jumping into the short of this, but this 605 looks like a break. The last dip didn't even get you into VWAP here, but it's starting to form a bit of a wedge. So there's an opportunity as a day trader maybe to work in and out of this one off of that 605 level, whether you like it for a break or not. I'm still looking for that VWAP level, guys. And I feel like it's the perfect day. It's almost about to cross the 10 million mark in terms of volume. Very, very active. Now, we actually have both J.R. Ron and Kevin O'Leary coming through. Today, it's going to be at about 11:15 or so. If you have questions for either one of these two guests, please throw them into the chat. We will make sure we get them for both of these, either one of them that you want to ask. We'll get to them. I know Brendan's going to knock it out of the park with this interview, and it's such a hot name. It's a great day to have them on the show as the stock is moving, and it's been all over the place. I mean, they recently had like a Rolling Stone article referencing them as well. So good things happening for them. Not necessarily good things happening for me on VERU. It's still consolidating. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about these wicks getting me out, but consolidating off of this 920 level. I'm short here at 940, trying to give it about 25 cents or so, maybe a little bit more than that, a couple extra pennies. But if it breaks back up, I'll take another shot around 10. I would also still like it off of that previous high. It's just going range bound on me, which can be a good thing if it breaks down, but got to make sure I take some profit in front of 9 and 860. Both those were levels a little bit early on in the session here on VERU.
Okay, we are going to take some questions for Kevin O'Leary and J.R. Ron. So if you want to put those in the chat, we'll try to ask them if we have some time permitted. So if you have any questions about MindMed for J.R. Ron or for Kevin O'Leary, put them in, guys. We're going to get out right now. Nice little win. Bang, out right there. Not sure what just happened there. The market does fall a little bit. So we're going to get out now of MindMed, of NEO. Nice little topside action there. Bringing that stock back to life, man. So good trading on NEO right there. Nice little long. We talked about buying more at VWAP. We didn't. We got a little bit scared there just because of how it hasn't been following the market, and we do know there's an ADS offering there. We get out quickly. Still going down. What's up, Bren?
Yeah, it looks like they're talking about the possibility of New York City shutting down entirely again. So that could have been part of the reason for that little move to the downside. So yeah, the entire city of Manhattan, apparently. Mayor de Blasio talking about the possibility of another shutdown coming. And then DM here, Neil was just asking me about this one, 10%, nice move today. They launched new tech on the 3D printing side, so they're talking about expanding that side of their business. Way back when we discussed this because they were getting into the EV space because of their 3D printing capabilities, guys.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. And I might have thrown this in the chat, and I don't know if I said it when at any point in the show, but I was looking at this sort of 690-ish to 7 even area, just going back into last week, a bit of a hard top here that it held for the last couple of days going into the end of the week. And if we can play off, it would have been nice. It got to like 85 before rolling over, so not quite in the target range that I would have been all over. But certainly if it gets up there again, I'll have a look. I can tell you Veru, which I just said was threatening me to the upside, just took out that 65.70, so I had to cover that one for a hit. We're all out of VERU. I won't look at it again at about 10 bucks even, and then if it tests the high of the day. But for now, we're going to be out of that name. And MindMed is testing 605, which is still the current high. That's worth a break, guys.
Okay, so time to do a little bit of a check here. So, Miss V, can you get me an update right now on what our like situation is?
Sure, Sean, I'm glad you asked. We're at 2,400 of likes. Super soon we will get 3,000. And guys, we have new animation for 3,000 likes. So please hit thumbs up and support the community. Back to Sean. Okay, so I'm gonna watch this here again. We did this on Friday. And guys, look, the show is completely free. We have 7,500 people watching right now. 2,500 likes. We got to get this to 3,000. So let's watch this thing. Hopefully this can start climbing. There it is, 2.6, so 2.4 up to 2.6. I like to see 2.7. We'll check back on this in a couple minutes, but let's get this back up going. We do the show every single day. Thank you for joining us. The only days we're taking off is going to be Christmas Day. If the market is open, then Neil, myself, Brendan, and Valeria, barring any kind of crazy vacation time, we will be back here. So that's it right there. We got it up to
$3 grand. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. A little bit almost. The refresh. It was just 2.9. Let's refresh this and get this going. But thank you so much. There it is. 3,000 likes. We did it, guys. Thank you so much for all of that. There it is. 3,000. Over 600 likes in 30 seconds. And there's Miss V going on the board there. So thank you so much for that, guys. We did it again. The best family in the business continues, Neil. Thank you so much. There it is. A record number of likes in just a matter of seconds. Give it to us at that big screen right now. It's Money Talks. What else talks? Let's go.
Hey guys, we'll check in with foreign exchange land, see how things are shaping up so far. Pretty muted action as far as the actual currencies. The British pound, though, having a nice bounce today, 0.7%. More Brexit talks coming out of the UK today, back to 133 and change for the British pound, having a nice move to the upside. The euro higher, the Canadian dollar 0.1%. We're back above 78 and a quarter. Seems to be a bit of a magnet so far for the past couple of days, anyways, for the Canadian dollar. 78.37 today. Australia and New Zealand as well, both higher on the day. Look at cryptos, though. 6% for both Bitcoin and Ethereum at the bottom. You can see on the chart over here. Bitcoin right back at the top end of the range once again. So we had that big sell-off last week, down back below 18,000, but immediately right back up. So 19,220, 6% for Bitcoin so far. Guys, back to you.
And there it is, guys. Thank you so much. 900 likes there in a couple minutes. So thank you so much for that. That means a hell of a lot to us all. Okay, we did get out of Neo there on that dump on the New York City news there. I don't know, probably a bad out of our last little 10% there. You can see there's about 10 or so outs here, all about 10%. Remember, we did have an average in, so we had double our shares. Congratulations to everybody there on the chat that had that Neo with us. I see a lot of people loving that. Let's check out MindMed again here in Toronto. What a big day this has been. I feel so silly because, I consider Kevin O'Leary to be a friend. We've talked about this, not a good friend, but we've talked about this on the show. And yeah, 35% up. What a boost today for MindMed. And I want to thank all the viewers as well for watching this stock and looking at it with us, because this is still rocking and rolling. And as you can see, coming up at 11:15, we'll have them on. We'll talk all about this, crazy run to the north side here for MindMed. This is just in Toronto. I mean, you could see even just back on Thursday, we were $3, guys. $4.50, $6.20 today. Congratulations to everyone long this mushroom name.
Big time move. What an unbelievable sort of move they've had. Look, get your questions in, because I know you guys have to be curious about MindMed. I want to go to BFT here because I feel like it's been a few minutes since we've talked about it. Look at this consolidation. I still have some shares at that 77 pullback. But if we break through VWAP, I feel like I'm just going to be taking more shares on the breakout. I still have a stop down at 77, but I'm going to tighten that up to this 85 just because I feel like if it breaks down, I like to get at that 1450 area tested again for re-entry. So, why not make sure that's a winning trade instead of giving it the break even nonsensical? So I'm going to go long more shares if it breaks 1505. I'm going to tighten up the stop on these last ones to 1485 and then see how far we can go. Okie dokie, fantastic. Started 6 weeks ago and 7x to the upside. So congratulations to you. Thank you for the super chat. We'll make sure Valeria gets. I can't even say because I don't even know how to describe her order at Starbucks. We'll make sure she gets a nice sweet coffee out of it because to say that she drinks it sweet is a bit of an understatement. Look, it's not a bit of an understatement. It's like 10 times over an understatement. It's a little ridiculous. But one bad one here for you. I did like originally VERU. If it was going to give me that break at 980, I never got it. But I just got stopped out here shy of VWAP, which might be a bad out. We'll see what happens. It's still in this consolidation range. I kind of look at this 925 and think maybe there's a scalp breakdown. But the problem with taking this is, where do I get out? Am I giving it all the way back into like 980 and risking 65 pennies? I don't know that makes sense to me. So I'm hoping for a bit of a bounce in this to be able to get back into another trade. I'm not going to take the 925 break because I feel like it could be a psych out. If I can catch it right in front of VWAP, I'll use 10 as an out. Otherwise, I'll walk away from VERU and look for a better entry.
Okay, guys, yeah, and again, Randy Turner, I know you've been a supporter also of the show, and you've hit me up on Twitter as well, but you know what? Great. I mean, look, it's great that you guys aren't getting shooken out and you're following some of the trades there that we've had, including that NIO trade. We do have only 20 minutes before MindMed is on our mind. But here we go. Let's look at Neil one more time. The reason why we didn't get shaken out of this one was kind of simple. We did have this VWAP protection down there. The only thing that I really regret, look, I went back in. You're not going to see me averaging too many times, but when I do, I explain to you why and then where the out is on the downside, right? And so right here, we did average in. I just didn't believe this dip. I don't know why. It did happen. We take it there at 20, defending VWAP there. So we saw some VWAP breaks. I thought it could have gone there. Didn't. That's a hit. We defended again. Should have picked some more up, but just had these kind of trades in our sights. It doesn't break, absorbs VWAP. Some of these wick downs don't happen. So you have to remember, it just comes down to VWAP. We're here at Day Trade the World, and the benefit of us being here is that we have access to basically every single gateway, all the dark pools, Fidelity, Morgan, whoever you want on the dark side, we have access to that. We have access to brand new exchanges as well, Neil. We trade in over 63 markets worldwide as well, but we do chart dark print. So sometimes you do see these wicks. If you do see that on myself or Neil's computer, we can't get rid of them. These are real market data prints, and we choose to leave them on here at the higher level. Some people use dark pools. There are a lot of traders out there that value these wicks. Neil and I, not to speak for you, Neil, but I don't believe either of us are one of those people. But we will use those and just continue to show them. But there's VWAP, the protection downside, and there's the blow up to 41. And we actually wrote down on our magical list that 41 was something we wanted to look at right there, including 1430 for BFT. Neil picked up that on a nice 1450 support as well. But there's Neil, man, back to 41. So we hit that one right on the head.
I'm glad you hit that one on the head there. I feel like the lighting kind of got half of that. We'll figure out a good way to see that list a little bit better. We've got to make it bigger. TLGTL, I'll just come back to this penny stock. I did tell you I'd get out in front of 93. We had the 113 and 114 short, so you take 20 cents off that. It's going to be a great return, but this was right before the open, double bottom here at that 93, and I said new position is what I would do on the break. I got 92.68 because you can trade on the, I don't know, like 10th, hundredths of a penny here over in the NASDAQ. I'm going to work this one all the way to 84, 83, 84, which was the pre-market low. That was the best out I had at about 8 o'clock this morning. See if we can't get it back down there. It'll only be a 10% move, not quite as good as the first short, but we'll take it. Winner's a winner. Chicken dinner, and Brendan is at the desk.
I mentioned this Michaels during the sector watch there. I was just double checking, and you can see JP Morgan with a price target cut on Michaels today and a downgrade from neutral to underweight. So a little bit of a move downside, as we said, MIK 9.5, not a little bit. A lot of a move to the downside, almost 10% here, guys, for Michaels. You remember had a big move up through this space last week, guys.
Okay. Just asking my wife how her leg was. The dog pulled her into the snow. We talked about that, and this was Friday or Thursday, and she's fine. Virgin Galactic, thanks for bringing this to my attention. I only have a couple positions on right now, and one of them, of course, is space. See, this is what I'm talking about with these dark prints. Like, that didn't happen. So there it goes. It fills it up all the way down here. I'm going to get out if we break here. I mean, look, we let this one go all the way to the high side. I actually forgot to put an order out. If we can hit the rewind, it's on me. I mean, I'm a trader, so I should know this. I talked about getting out the next time it comes up to these highs, and it came exactly to those highs. So pie on my face, we should have got out. Now we're going to absorb a 70-cent hit on the last 10%. We should have got out there. I will put another order maybe around 28.50 now, but I am going to use this 27.95 or so break, which is about to happen on space. So thanks for bringing it up, but we do take a little bit of a hit on that one. I mean, it's not a hit. We're still long 27.60, so it'll be a 30-cent win, but should have been $1 higher. So my bad on that one. The only other trade that we have on right now, Peloton making moves right now to the high side a little bit, bouncing off these 119s. My out, 118.75. So kind of right back to where we started this day is where my out will initially be. This one could be, looks like will be, a loser because on my first third, we only took 60 or 45 cents on the first third, and it looks like we may lose $2 if this drops too much lower. So Peloton not really going. The other stock that we tried today was Marvell on the same kind of move, high and then out. That's an ugly trade right there, but regardless, it only went in the money a little bit. So not too disappointed on these ones. Pretty light trading on these names. If you see Neil and I into stock, maybe for the first time, like, hey, Sean's never really traded Marvell. I'm not going to be using big shares, right? Neo, Palantir, Disney, Tesla, things like that, stocks that we're used to and that are definitely on our watch list are names that we talk about and we use bigger shares. Just quickly before we throw it over, our watch list right here, Morning Movers, make sure you grab that. I got mine at 8:15 this morning. There were Google problems. Mine came in at 8:15, as you can see. And then as it goes, man, free lists, about 15 names, 10, 15 names, plus more on this as it gets going. So definitely sign that up. Watch list, tradertv.live, Miss V at the big screen with a very important European update.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in a positive territory on the extension of Brexit trading deal negotiations. Spain is up 1.56%, Italy is up 0.98%, France is up 0.92%, and Britain is up 0.26%. Mark & Spencer is up more than 4% after company said it would double down on sustainability. Back to the traders.
So do as we say, not always as we do. Pie in my face because I talked about this 605 on my med. Came and went. The break got you all the way to 635. So another push up here. I was looking for a dip buy as well, but when a stock is making these moves, you don't always get the retracement that you want, and this certainly did not give it to me. So 605, anybody had it, you cannot stop the train. It just continues to sort of break out, continue that ridiculous breakout. I want to go to NNDM if I can. I did mention a couple times here that 690 here. Again, it's tested up towards that 690 to 7 range where I would have liked it, but not quite gotten there. So I'm not into this short just yet. I feel like it'll make another push. It's pulling back and then resisting VWAP, so higher low still being put in. I'd like it to either test the level I want or just go parabolic another time, and then maybe at that point I can jump into a short. But Brendan, what do you have for us, buddy?
I was just reading this little bit of a story on American, guys. The early strength we saw in some of these airlines completely gone now. You can see 1% to the downside for AAL. American just released a note saying they successfully completed their first delivery of vaccine from Chicago to Miami. Actually happened overnight, but they are apparently just getting it into the facility as we speak. So not really a market-moving story, but interesting nevertheless. But yeah, weakness in some of these travel names, guys.
Okay, weakness in the market as well. I'm guessing it's just Congress talking right now. There's not, and we'll leave this to Brendan, but I guess maybe there's not enough aid coming as far as a coronavirus relief package. And I know Kevin O'Leary has a lot to say about small businesses. Brendan will be with him in about 10 minutes or so. Mr. Wonderful and JR Ron coming to discuss everything MindMed, and we'll see if we get his opinion on a few other things as well. But I want to talk about Facebook here. Big move, man. I love Facebook. I'm a shareholder. There's no doubt about that. I want them to break it up. I don't really, but again, if that's going to be negative news, I don't think that's super negative. I think they have a lot of assets, obviously under management and under their control, like WhatsApp and Instagram. If they can unlock that, Facebook Shops, I think also a fighter with Amazon's new product and then Shopify. So empowering small businesses. I love Facebook, but I'm very weary of all of this. So I'm going to try a break. This is a good break, actually. 273.50. I think we'll try that. But then I'm really waiting to see what happens at 273 even right now. So we're going to wait on that. Virgin Galactic, we talked about that. Feeling great, man. It's still my bet stock of the day. However, silly me, we should have got out a whole bunch of times upside at 28.65. We definitely should have got out there on that number. So we didn't. We miss it. We drop it off. And guys, we got out 27.93 for 27.60 long. So 40 cents there on Virgin Galactic. Neil, I still think that story was obviously a lot overdone, but we'll see. The stock is heated up. It's still a spec play for sure.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. And ultimately, like I said, we were talking about it before, successful, I guess, emergency landing. It's just, you're going to have setbacks. There's no way you're going to be endeavoring on something like they are and not have those types of setbacks. And they're going to churn forward, and I have confidence in them as well. I'm just going to update you guys. Took some shares out of that TLGT. It just broke down to that 86, and if you go back into the pre-market, like I said, I couldn't get anything better than 84 on our initial shorts. And if it holds there again, I want to make sure I'm getting just about everything out. It was a 60-cent stock on Friday. I would basically have like 20% to see if it can't break through those lows and then capture a little bit of that. Of course, we have our guest coming through very, very shortly. But I want to remind everybody, and I feel like we've done it a couple times here, but do not forget, you guys got us to 3,000 likes today rather rapidly, I must say. And thank you so much, everyone in the community. For all of our members, it's just a way for us to give back to you. Right at the end of the show, right after the end of the show, like 5 minutes, we're going to grab a coffee. We'll come right back to you guys at 11:35. Stick around. We have our Q&A session. We'll all be there. You can ask us whatever you would like, and we'll be there for about 45 minutes or so, answering all of your questions. Every other week, we are going to do this for you guys. So definitely look out for that. Every other Monday, I should say, in particular. I want to quickly jump back to Airbnb. We're getting thin on time here, but it is bouncing to the upside. It was a great short off of 130. I had some issues this morning, so I apologize. I did say 134.50 was the look to the short, and we had them for free today, but I was setting things back up when I missed that. It's coming back to 130. That's the long and the short of it. I'm going to see if there's a bit of size here in the offer, which it's not a heck of a lot, but it's like a 25, 30,000 share order. It's a tight stop here up at 90 to 95, but if it bounces away from this, as long as it's legitimate, I'll try to catch some on the way down with a 130 stop. So I'll try to take some at like 129.90 if it can, but it's got to hold first. That hasn't happened just yet. Airbnb catching a bid once again.
Yeah, I like the bid right now, too. I want to go long right through here, 130.25. That's that little spot right there on Airbnb. So I'm getting ready. I mean, normally it's 11:05 and I don't go too hard, but we're going to wait to see about Airbnb. A nice little bottom at 125. Let's see if it can take this off and then get ourselves back up 133, 134. But we're going to go long through 130.25 on ABNB. I don't know, man. I mean, we made a great trade off the open off that stock when it did open a couple days ago on its birthday. Okay, DoorDash. Good thing we didn't short that today. Right, yeah. We talked about getting short at 175, and I've only made negative trades on DoorDash. Look, when you don't believe in the business, sometimes it's a little hard. Not that I don't believe in DoorDash, but competition is the name of the game, and I don't know, down 7% with that kind of valuation just doesn't even seem like it's enough. I think we can even go down lower. 153 we touched. It's just hilarious because normally, and we talked about this on the show, I would have taken these breaks, but we've just been so bad trading DoorDash recently that all of these breaks they look so damn good, but we didn't short them. And then look at this move, man. 170 break, and then it's hasta la vista, baby. 170 breaks, and we go all the way down to 154 and change. So, yeah, missing the boat on that one. But we're not going to miss the boat now on Airbnb, so let's go. We go long on Airbnb right now. Let's see what we have. We have volume-weighted average price, VWAP down here. Let's get a little educated. If that breaks, maybe we get out, but 127 I'm looking at on the downside. Let's go Airbnb right now, locked and loaded, long 130.23.
Yeah, I just gave 25 pennies back on Airbnb on the short and then reversed as well there. So it's basically the same look as you just mentioned there, Sean. But I did have the short at 98. Sometimes you can actually get it really tight to your stop level. I know we were only minutes away from the interview, and that's why I want to come over to AMC. Of course, Brendan talking a little bit earlier about this name, I do believe. It tried to push back off of $3, but if 3/4 goes right here, this will be my first trade that I'm going to have here in AMC on the day. I was looking for a bigger retracement, maybe up to that 350 mark, but 325 on the short side might have to be it. There is a bit of a buyer, and it's not much on level 2, but definitely some liquidity at 325. If that can't hold, looks like we're retesting some lows on AMC.
Okay, just getting down some questions. Good question there for Kevin O'Leary. We'll see if we can ask him some of those. Thank you to all of our members for getting those to us as well. Okay, so whatever. We'll see here about Airbnb. I'm going to give it, I talked about VWAP. I think that's a decent spot. So we're going to give it a little bit lower, 128.25. We'll see if we can lose $2. We don't like losing, but we also like being honest. So we'll give that one all the way back down. We're just long above 130, so not too much to worry about on this one. I saw Roblox also delayed their IPO. My kids love Roblox. I was actually talking with one of the traders here. I wanted to get into Roblox for sure. I think that's going to be a good call, but you got to wait on that now. It looks like they're going to be coming in 2021, and that was based on the valuations. They never thought Airbnb and DoorDash would come out at these valuations. So Roblox going to reassess and I guess going to come out at a higher valuation would be my guess, especially after Christmas season. I kind of wanted to get into Roblox before Christmas, but I guess we won't have that opportunity to do that. We'll see about more SPACs and IPOs as they come. But right now, the only one that I'm into is Airbnb. I think this one has the best longer term approach. But remember, guys, we are scalping. Like, this is a day trade show, so we're flat at 4 p.m. every single day. So I like Airbnb here for a nice little move up, but we are watching out for this bottom of this 3-minute candle, 128. So this breaks 128, we got to get out.
Yeah, and just want to quickly go back if we can. I know we're going to be jumping to the interview in a few minutes, of course, but MindMed making another push towards the high of the day, 636 over here. Now, you might be trading this in the OTC if you are. It trades in the CSE here, so not CSE, on NEO. But we're going to always trade in Toronto if we can, usually just a little more liquidity, certainly easier to get shorting opportunities if you wanted to go short, and we get paid to trade on the Neo Gateway. That's why I love it. I do want to come back over, and I will go over Airbnb maybe in a couple of seconds, but I haven't talked about Socket too much. It was a good trade off 3. It gave me that bounce up to 320. It's been holding VWAP, and I felt, okay, it was sliding back down, still in that downward trend. But it's catching a bit of a bid, so I'm going to tighten my stop up a little bit here because this one might be ramping on me going into lunchtime, and I don't want this to break out. It just hasn't had the flush that I would have liked on the comeback, so I feel like I'm going to be taking this one out probably for like a 15-20 cent hit. Maybe premature, but it just doesn't have the right feel to me, and volume is starting to pick back up again. If I can exaggerate this on my chart for you guys to see, there we go. Volume starting to pick right back up again on a higher consolidation. So I've got the last entry back in, not going to give it to VWAP. I'm tightening the stop up to like 320 or so. More of a gut feel that I got on Socket that it could break out on me one more time. And if it did, I'll look at anything around the $3.75 to $4 for a re-entry into the short.
Okay, and yeah, we're getting barbecued up here. We are getting barbecued up as Airbnb falls back down. It hits the VWAP and we get out. So we'll fall down in the hole on that name. Oops, I just missed it. We'll go arrow down on Airbnb anyways, as that just keeps on falling. We tried it, guys, on that little break of 130. We thought that could get going. And again, this is normally a trade that we like. We have a bunch of consolidation at the downside, and then we thought it was going to possibly break out back through 130 there. But that's Airbnb down 8% today to join its friendly neighbor. And there's a few of them, as you guys know, DoorDash now today as well. Look, it was just a matter of time before the air got taken out of these tires, man. I mean, all of these came out at huge valuations, all well overvalued probably. But again, the market will tell you the price. And honestly, I mean, down 10%, not to be unexpected, that's for sure, as DoorDash and Airbnb continue to go. Check back on AI, that's C3. We saw that come out as well. And they're also down 7.5%. So maybe this is why Roblox decides not to go public. One stock that is rocking and rolling, though, on the NEO exchange today, MindMed. So let's just say, oh, Canada for this one, as MindMed continues to rip upside right now, 37% up. What a great run this has been, Neil. I know you were trading it earlier, and wow, to have still been long off the open, hell yeah, for MindMed, changing the game, and pretty soon J.R. Ron and Kevin O'Leary from MindMed going to come talk all about this. And I mean, look, to get educated in this space is definitely something that you want, and we have two of the best. So we're going to talk everything psychedelic and MindMed coming up soon with Brendan. We're excited.
Yeah, and like you said, Sean, of course we're day trading here on these accounts, so it's not like, even though I got the dip on MindMed, the gap up one more time, and it's probably better to show you on the 15-minute chart, just to give you some perspective here. Look, it was a great pullback. You talked about previous resistance at $5, and I saw this on Friday when it tried to turn around and then caught a bid off 440. So I came in looking like I wanted to day trade this one off of 5. I did give the nice little dip. I'm all out of it, and it's still going. So pie in my face maybe a little bit here that I don't have a share still on, or maybe even the 605. But again, from a day trading perspective, I am still looking for any pullback to the VWAP or that previous 605. And I chuckle because I've been waiting for a pullback that just hasn't come on my last entry back all the way over here at 1020. And an hour later, we're up another 10%. So I'm trying to be a little bit patient with this, buying on some of these dips. Liquidity is pretty good at 11 million shares, which is why I think you want to be patient as a day trader, because there's just so much activity going on that if you can save yourself a few pennies here and there trading over here on the NEO exchange, why not go ahead and do that? Like you, Sean, I got out of that Airbnb that I had the short up here at 130 and then reversed into the long when it broke. Probably in my face, because the initial 130 short was fantastic for me when I got this at 940. I probably should have given it a little bit more room. It just feels like with all three, Dash, Airbnb, and C3 AI, having hard stops at even dollars is not necessarily the best play unless there's like gigantic size there. When it gets thin, you get wicked out all the time, which is what happened on my short. And then, of course, the long breaks VWAP. AI bounced off 110. I'm going to like that one if it gets, look, if it continues its sell-off and gets down to 100, definitely take a defense of that level.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to remind everybody that coming up, and we just got a whole bunch of members, so I'm going to shout you guys out in a second. Coming up after the show, look, your chance, man. We like giving back. Here's a great opportunity for us to do that to you. One-on-one, all four of us, I guess 4-on-1. We're going to talk anything you guys want, all questions. Get ready. All members get that link to support the show. Thank you so much for that. And I just want to give a quick shout out. It's $5 to support the show. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Jeff Newcomb, thank you so much. Carlos Hernandez, thank you so much. Raymond Decker as well. And Scott. We do this show for you guys, free on YouTube every single day. Join us. I think they like the 8:30 start. That's been a great one to review everything on our watch list as we go. It's been a big day. I'm not at my highest spot because my last trade was an Airbnb loser, but I did want to talk about NEO coming up again, guys. Look at all of these buys and look where we are. So NEO today, good stock for us, but we did get some off at 41 on that 41 break. And again, if we go back to the magic little spot here, I don't know why, where is it? Can't see it. It's hard to see, but the break there on NEO was $41. So we will wait to see on that one. We didn't take it, been a little sidetracked. These were good longs though, off VWAP at the bottom. The members still keep flying in here, so thank you so much for that. Bitcoin moving around today. Everything moving, even some value stocks. GE down to 11 as well. Let's check back in on my favorite stock, Mr. Softy. Look, it's been a little while since we've looked at you, Softy, but today up that 1%. Nice movement on Friday, and now today breaking out again. And I know, speak of the devil, we have Kevin O'Leary coming on. I know he likes value stocks for sure, and Microsoft probably in some of those O shares, but we're going to be talking about MindMed, and we're ready to rock and roll right now. Let's watch Microsoft and throw it back over to Brendan Wickens.
Hey guys, yeah, we are very excited once again. If you're not familiar with the name MindMed, they're a biotech company leading the way at this point when it comes to the very important work of developing psychedelic medicine specifically for the treatment of mental health and addiction problems. J.R. Ron, co-founder and CEO of MindMed, joining us once again, and Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank investor and chairman of O'Leary Financial Group, back with us once again. So happy to have both the guys back with us again. Good to see you both. Thank you, and we appreciate your time again today. News on the stock today. In fact, JR, will come to you first. I want to get your pitch on this and your thoughts. MindMed, big move again today following this announcement.
It is a big move, and it's a big day for our company. Not really because of the stock market, but because of what this means for our clinical trials. And so I'm wearing my Project Lucy shirt very proudly today, and not wearing my MindMed shirt because today is about Project Lucy. We had a meeting with the FDA on Friday, and for those that don't know what Project Lucy is, it is our phase 2B clinical trial for anxiety disorders, and we're using LSD-assisted therapy that's what we'll be testing. And so we had what we call a pre-IND meeting with the FDA on Friday. An IND is an investigational new drug. You need this to be opened in order to start a clinical trial. And so we had that meeting on Friday, and we got a very positive response from the FDA in terms of the things that we need to put in place in order to file the IND in August of 2021. So we're going to be doing that this summer. And it's a big step in the right direction for us as a company and for this program. And so we look at starting that trial in 2021, and I think it's a very good thing for a lot of anxiety patients out there, especially in the midst of COVID-19 right now, where we're seeing benzos and Xanax prescriptions just really skyrocket out of control over the last few months. And so big day for us, and a lot of hope out there for anxiety patients around the world, but specifically in the United States, because the FDA is one of the leading authorities on how you get a drug approved. So important to have good relationships with them and present the data in a meaningful way. But we're very happy about Friday.
Yeah, congratulations, definitely in order when it comes to this news, and also the last half of this year, or last 6 months for the stock has been pretty impressive. Now 1,150% to the upside year to date. Just a couple of facts here, guys. We closed above the $1 billion market cap mark here in Canada back on Friday for the first time. So it's been impressive nonetheless when we talk about the actual stock itself. Kevin, I'll come to you with simple thoughts on the difference here. What has set this apart from others in the space? There are other companies, other competition now in the space. What's been the story with MindMed that attracted you?
I've said categorically all along, because I've been a biotech investor for decades, that what you need when you go into a new medicine is diversity in outcomes. You need as many trials as you can get, as many molecules as you can get, because the outcomes are unknown. And this space is defined by incredible barbell effect. Either it's a zero or it's a tremendous upside if you can bring a medicine that solves one of these horrific problems that JR often talks about, whether it be opioid addiction or alcoholism or depression or whatever it is. But to get there, as you look at your portfolio as an investor, because I'm an investor, that's what I do, I look for opportunities where I have diversification. If you're only betting on one drug and one molecule, in my mind, that's a significantly higher risk than a company that's building a portfolio. And I encourage all my CEOs in any sector, get me diversification, diversify my risk, diversify by different opportunities, because the outcomes are unknown. And clearly, what MindMed has done here as it keeps advancing its trial schedules is done exactly that. And that is good practice for any biotech company. And investors respond based on risk mitigation. That's how it works, and that's what's happening right now with MindMed.
He was recently mentioned in articles in Forbes magazine, in Rolling Stone, Town and Country, just to name a few. JR, the COVID-19 pandemic has shone a bit of a spotlight on this issue and brought more attention to this issue in general. I really want to make sure people understand the importance of the work that the company is doing when it comes to psychedelic medicines versus traditional medicines that maybe just, work to mask or mute an issue versus, targeting the specific problem itself. Talk a little bit about the way that happens.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times when folks think about psychedelics, they have lots of memories, right? From the 1960s, there's still a lot of stigma around them. And in many ways, they've been shown in a new light over the last year, and even the sort of the last couple of months. There's been a lot of momentum behind psychedelic medicine and its potential. What people need to understand is these are not panaceas. They are not going to solve all the world's problems. And anybody who tells you that is telling you a lie. However, they are catalysts for change. They are catalysts for change in patients that actually want to improve their life. And a lot of times that is what is most needed for somebody who has addiction, for somebody that ruminates about their anxiety. They need that catalyst moment. And so psychedelics provide that catalyst moment in psychedelic assisted therapy. At the same time, though, the pre-care and the aftercare components of undergoing psychedelic assisted therapy, like what would be possible in our Project Lucy, require that you do work with a therapist after the fact and also before the fact of that psychedelic treatment. And so this is a key difference between what we're working on and what has been touted by many biotechs and pharma companies over the years in the antidepressant market and the anti-anxiety market. they require us looking at ourselves and understanding the underlying problem that is causing the addiction, that is causing anxiety, is causing depression. This is the most important paradigm shift in mental health. And I think, you alluded to the fact that, the market is really doing very well right now when it comes to psychedelic medicine, and so is MindMed. I think that there's been an underinvestment in solutions to mental health. And COVID-19 has woken everybody up. We got some serious problems to deal with as a society, and we need to invest and to really create this paradigm shift and build the infrastructure to treat what are really big problems. 40% of Americans had some form of a mental health issue or an addiction. And these are CDC figures. These are from the government. The CDC in the United States is saying this, had some form of an addiction or a mental health issue. Big problem. 11% of Americans considered suicide in the month of June. These are not going away. You have the Lancet Commission as well saying that by 2030, mental health issues could be causing the economy $16 trillion a year. We got to invest now, and I think that is why you are seeing really MindMed as a catalyst right now.
Back in November, the company announced a new digital medicine division and worked towards a digital medicine division that you're naming Albert. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so digital therapeutics are really also going through a bit of a renaissance now in how the medical community is thinking about how do you use digital therapy and digital medicine. We saw telehealth increase something like 30-fold in the midst of COVID-19. How we treat mental health and how we treat just healthcare in general is changing. And so as a company, we are a psychedelic medicine company, but we also realize that we're going to need other tools in our tool set to really address mental health issues. And so the way that we are looking at digital therapeutics is how can we marry them with psychedelic assisted therapy? How can we better monitor patients to predict when they are going to have anxiety or when they might potentially relapse or at risk of relapsing, and creating a more cohesive and direct relationship between their therapist or doctor and the folks that are suffering. And I think the only way that we're going to be able to really achieve that is through digital therapeutics. So we're going to take a big bet on that over the next year and years to come as we really redefine this new paradigm for how to treat mental health and addiction globally.
Kevin, we've had a lot of questions when it comes to the overall market environment that we're in. Talk about, from an investor standpoint, how important it is to be open to certain ideas and certain theories that you might not be comfortable with initially, but down the road, once you learn about it, it could be a groundbreaking and monumental shift in treatments in this case. But from an investor standpoint, how important is it to be open to new ideas that you might not be terribly comfortable with?
A good example, again, because we're focusing on it, is MindMed. I remember a couple of years ago when first approached with this idea. The important thing is not to make the same mistakes of the past. And my biggest concern about this investment was, why isn't this going to be cannabis all over again when there's a lot of initial interest in it, and then all of a sudden there's no institutional follow through, which you need when you're developing medicines and you're trying to build a whole sector and a whole new class of solutions for mental health. And, the answer by the sector, not just MindMed, was to say, we're not going to go into recreational at all. And therefore, as we go through the speculative phase and we raise venture capital, with certainty when the board and the CEO, in the case of MindMed's case, is saying we're not pursuing a recreational offering, that you're not going to run into the same problem that we saw happen in cannabis, where the companies lost 80% of their value because there was absolutely no interest and still isn't at the institutional level. The thing about psychedelics as medicine and all of this focus on mental health is this is a primary interest of institutions, which means over time, as these medicines are developed by MindMed and the other companies, they will find their ways into the indexes. In other words, if you're managing a biotech index or a pharma index or a mental health index, you will index these companies. And that, to me, is why I got involved in the first place. I am am an indexer. That's what O-Shares does. It indexes. And I know the institutional track record of following opportunities. And the reason you don't see cannabis indexed is it's a Schedule I narcotic in a recreational space where it doesn't have a federal mandate. I know there's a lot of excitement about the House, but that's not going to get through the Senate. So we're back to where we started. That will not happen for the majority of participants in this new idea of psychedelics as medicine. We will not have to have a problem fighting all of these lobby groups that don't want recreational drugs, because we're not making recreational drugs, we're making medicines. And so that's really what got me interested in being supportive of the whole sector, the whole movement, and as a guy, that suffered from dyslexia when I was a kid in school, it's tough out there. There's a lot of really bad medicine for mental health, and I'd like to be part of the solution. And as I said day one when we talked about this months and months ago, binary outcomes, zeros or huge upsides. That's what you're doing when you're investing in situations where you're developing new medicines.
JR, I want to get your thoughts on this as well, because back in November, we had the state of Oregon become the first to approve the license, the medical use of psilocybin specifically. In your opinion, how important is it to see that kind of continue with other states?
Look, I think Measure 109 that you're referring to in Oregon really is a will of the people. And I think the reason that ballot measure got passed was in many ways an outcome of COVID-19. I think people were sitting around self-reflecting about their mental health and addiction issues. And somebody said, hey, this could potentially work for mental health and addiction. And so it did pass. And there's a 2-year moratorium, so there won't be any psilocybin available in the state of Oregon for 2 years. Our opinion on this is we need federal regulation because we have an institutional backers, and we we filed an application for the NASDAQ, and it is our objective to become a NASDAQ listed company. If we were to go down this path of state-by-state legalization, you're really not differentiating yourself from any of the cannabis companies out there. So there's a way in the United States that you get a medicine approved. It's through the FDA, it's federally compliant, and it makes a scalable business. And not only does it make a scalable business, it makes an opportunity for all Americans to receive treatment once you get it through the FDA. And we just think that's a more efficient use of our capital to prove through rigorous science and data that not only does this help mental health, but it's going to be available for all Americans. And I think that's extremely important as you build a business, and a sustainable business that's going to be around for a very long time. So we're encouraged by the will of the people in Oregon. It's clear we need a new paradigm in mental health, but the FDA remains the global authority, well, not the global authority, but one of the leading authorities on how you get a drug approved. And a lot of regulators look at the FDA. So we're very happy about the pre-IND meeting that we had with the FDA on Friday. And it's an efficient pathway. Let's use it.
J.R. Ron and Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary joining us once again. Guys, we have a lot of questions, to say the least. We want to make sure we get a couple of them answered here from the audience. So we're going to bring in Sean first.
Mr. O'Leary, Mr. Ron, thank you so much for talking to us all about MindMed today, and what a historic run it's been on. And again, congratulations to that, and thank you for doing all the work that you have been doing. Kevin, my friend, I did want to talk to you. I know we talked about watches last time. This time I want to keep it to the questions in the chat. And I'm wearing the Breitling here for you. And I'm on look for the Rolexes. We'll talk about that on another day. Right now, you talked about being an indexer and a value investor. I know that's what you are. Where do we see this? And can I ask you 5 years, 3 to 5 years maybe down the line? This is 10x right now since October, MindMed. Is this something right now that we can look forward to? I'm excited for it to get added to various indexes, hopefully, like you were mentioning. Where is this stock? And this comes from our audience in about 5 years. What's your sort of long-term look on this? I'll ask Kevin and then JR if you have an opinion on that as well.
Well, I'll go first from the indexing community. None of these drugs have been indexed yet because they haven't been approved by the FDA, but that doesn't mean they won't find their way into indices eventually. And the metrics that indexers use are things like defining quality, defining number of trials, defining number of medicine potential outcomes, all kinds of ways of trying to figure out how do I value these companies as the market tries to do every day. But clearly, if you're in the, let's say I want to index the biotech space, would I ignore this new medicine outcome? No. If I'm in the pharmaceutical space, would I ignore this? No. If I'm in the healthcare space and I'm indexing, would I want to include this? Yes. And so what happens, indexing is a very conservative science. And, you know, I've always said that you want to look at outcomes long term. So where am I going to be in MindMed in 5 years? Probably still a major investor, because it's only once or twice in your life when you get to participate in a brand new category of medicine. And I remember when I was a teenager how negative people were to drugs like this, and how the days of the early 60s and Timothy Leary and overdosing on LSD and the you know, the army using it as a weapon potentially. All of that negative press around this category really held back the potential upside of research to determine if it had any benefits for human beings. And now finally we've swept away that negative momentum, and we're looking as an industry, beyond just MindMed, a whole industry starting to focus on this. So if you're going to be indexing the massive categories, and I would say healthcare, mental health, you know, biotech, and pharmaceuticals are all potential indexers for this category of medicine. So as somebody who, you know, participates in that part of the market through O-Shares, where I'm constantly listening to institutional capital, my job is to listen to institutions and say, what do you want me to index for you? It's a very competitive space, but I have to hear where the capital wants to go. And the capital, from what I can see so far, does not have the taint of cannabis. Capital is extremely interested in this as a medicine. And that means indexers like me are going to have to recognize the companies that participate in this space and figure out a way to measure their weightings in indices. And for me, again, it's a personal opinion, and I said this at the outtake, the beginning of this conversation, I want diversification of outcomes. I want multiple outcome possibilities, multiple trials. Anytime I talk to the CEOs in this space, I always ask them, what do you got that you can publicly tell me about in your hopper of outcomes? How many trials? How many molecules? How many new ideas? What are you doing to diversify? That is the way any investor, certainly I, look at this space, because we are in the nascent beginning of this giant focus on psychedelics as medicine. So I want real diversification, and I think JR is one of the CEOs in this space that's listening to investors like me and making sure that he does his best to mitigate my risk through diversification.
And I think that's a great point there, because there are so many, and I love, and again, you came guys months ago when this stock was just a baby, and now we cracked the 1 billion mark. Again, congratulations. The thing is, Kevin, I'm with you on a lot of this. Cannabis has that negative stigma to it, and you nailed that, and I want to say congratulations. A lot of people holding the bag on some of those stocks. MindMed looks to be completely different. Thank you so much for that answer. I'm going to throw it back to Brendan. Thank you, guys.
JR, we're getting a lot of inquiries about your T-shirt. A lot of people loving the Project Lucy T-shirt. Is that actually available?
So I get a lot of emails about it as well. We're working on it. We have, you know, I think what's amazing about MindMed is we have a community of folks that want to make a change in mental health. You know, I think great, the stock market's doing well, but you know, I came to this into this company and into this industry because of a personal struggle. I think a lot of our investors did too. 40% of Americans had some form of a mental health or addiction issue. I would reckon that a higher percentage of our investors also have some issue. And so I think people are looking for change, and MindMed is focusing hard on how we can make that change in mental health. So, very encouraging to see people want to wear our shirts, but also back us with their investment dollars. And I think we are on a real mission here. This is not just a flash in the pan. We're building a company that really wants to solve problems. And I think Albert is going to help us in terms of really redefining how we look at mental health. And so look out for us. This is not, we started as a biotech company. There are binary outcomes, and Kevin is right on the biotech component of the space. But as we get potential approvals through, we're also looking at how do we redefine that entire treatment spectrum with pre-care and aftercare. And I think digital medicine is going to play a huge role in that. And we look forward to investing heavily into digital medicine and updating the market on all those great things that are cooking.
JR, Ron, Kevin O'Leary, a pleasure as always, guys. We appreciate your time. We'll have to do this again real soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
There we go, guys. A little look at, inside look at MindMed and why we've had such an impressive move on this stock over the past 6 months. To say the least, guys, it's been quite the move for these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And look, I know there were a lot of questions that got through, and certainly if you're interested more, there was a great piece in Rolling Stone that I think came out. If you want to check that out on the overall space, referencing MindMed as well, and hopefully we'll be fortunate enough to get these guys back on and get to some of those questions, or maybe we can relay them to both JR and Kevin. I want to thank them for coming in. To remind everybody, we're going to end the show. Of course, we're running a little bit late here, but we're going to end the show, and then we're going to come right back in about 5 minutes. We'll go grab bathroom break, coffee, all that good stuff, and then do our Q&A live with all of our members. We'll go 45 minutes or so, so do make sure you stick around for that. There's not really much in the way of earnings today, guys, but MindMed's still the story as it continues to push back to the upside. It has been a fantastic trading session, some awesome trades, and then a fantastic interview as well. Going to go down the line for Ms. V, for man Sean Katina, for Brennan Wickens. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow, but jump on the Q&A in 5.